Hey guys, hope everybody's doing well tonight. Welcome to a special Sunday night edition of Missing Person Monday. I kind of had to switch up the schedule this week. I've got some stuff going on. So I thought we would do it tonight because I definitely wanted to get it in. This is probably the most important live stream video that I do every week is our Missing Person Monday. So I hope everybody's, like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. I know there's some other creators, once again, live tonight with the Delphi stuff. So if you're watching a replay, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We love our replay crew here. And for everybody that is here in chat, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you immensely. As you can see on the screen, I have got, once again, the link to the Timmy's Legacy YouTube channel. Please do check it out, and it is also pinned to the top of the chat, and it is also in the description box of the live stream, along with the link to the Timmy's Legacy Facebook page, the petition to reopen Timmy's case, the link to Mr. Steve's True Crime Web, the petition to sign for ELISA Robertson to review that case, Arctic's petition to standardize the Amber Alert system. So please do check out all those links. If you're new here and haven't signed them yet, please take a look at them and sign them. If you've already signed them, as always, share them anywhere and everywhere you can because they are very, very important. All right, let's see who we got in here tonight. And I'm hoping my my computer is sketchy as always. And last night or early this morning, I was on for a little bit with Dave on his weekly weekend true crime. Came up on panel for a little bit until my farm signal crapped out on me. So I apologize to Dave for that. But I immensely enjoy being on panel with him, along with Necessary Evil was also up there too. So good time, good time. So please just check out Dave, absolutely, and all our other friends that are here. Arctic, I think Arctic checked in earlier. And Junior checked in earlier. I think I'm going to have to do it from my phone. May not come up. Yeah, Junior always says, what time? I can never see. It's blocked by the notification. Oh, you mean when the notification on YouTube? Yeah. A lot of times it is blocked out. I hate that. I hate that. But YouTube thing, you know how that goes. Miss Marion Tate is here. Hello, Miss Marion. Good to have you here as always. And she says she has liked and shared. Thank you so much. Miss Gail Hurd is here. Thank you for being here, Miss Gail. She says, hello, sweet souls. Miss Gail is a sweet soul. JP, our friend JP is here. It'll come up. There it is. There he is. He says, took me some doing, but I was finally, he was finally able to get back on Facebook. Excellent. I can't remember if you were kicked off or it had something to do with the music rights thing or whatever you said it was, but I'm glad you were able to get back on there. Absolutely. All right, let me see if I can do this from my computer. And JP says it is good to see everybody. It's always good to see our friend. I'm just going back and forth. Miss Paula is here. Welcome, Miss Paula. Good to have you here. There is Arctic, our good friend Arctic. Always good to have Arctic here. Please do check out his channel. Wonderful channel. Lance Jones is here, our friend from Canada. Hello, Lance. Good to have you here, sir. There's Miss Barbara Hall. Always a pleasure to have Miss Barbara here. She says, hello, everyone. She got her notification this time. Excellent. I'm glad you got your notification. It's always good to have Miss Barbara. And please, like I said, do go sub up to the Timmy's Legacy YouTube channel. I think Miss Barbara said they were going to have their first live stream over there, maybe November 29th. Please do correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Barbara, but I think you said November 29th. So I'm very excited about that. All right, let's see who else we got. I understand, my friend. Arctic says, you got me till the pain meds kick in. I hope you're feeling all right. Well, if you're having to take pain meds, I know you're not feeling okay, but I hope you get to feeling better. Absolutely. Junior made it back. He says, hello from Michigan. Welcome back, Junior. Good to have you here, sir. See if I can work it from my... Miss Farr is here. Hello, Farr from Australia. Good to have you here. So far, we've got the U.S., Canada, and Australia covered. Good to have everybody here. No matter where you're from, we are happy to have you here. Let's see. Oh, Miss Gail says that she is... I don't know if that is it. Sorry, I'm having to go back and forth. There it is. She says she's laying down. She gets so tired these days. Yeah, I've been tired too. I haven't felt good today. I'm hoping that I don't know what's going. It's the change of the season, and we talked about that the other night. Every time there's been something going around, and I always get some kind of head cold when the seasons start to change around here. So it's just a part of life. But I hope you get to feeling better also, Miss Gail. Miss Bling is here, or Matahari, either one. She said I could call her either one. Call her friend. Good to have you here. And once again, I believe Bling does have a big part to do with the Timmy's Legacy Foundation and the YouTube channel and the Facebook group. So thank you to everyone who is getting all that set up. Sorry, I'm still fighting with the computer as usual. like I said, I'm looking very forward, and I'm going to invite myself to be on your channel live with you at some point, whenever you will have me. It would be my honor. Oh, Junior said, didn't I just see you, Gail? Are you in other lives together? Or is Junior, are you stalking Gail? Miss Barbara always used to say that I was stalking her or we were stalking each other. Mr. James Tate is here. Welcome, Mr. James. He says, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for everything you do for everyone else. God bless you. Oh, sorry, my chair is. God bless you all. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. James, and everybody else, as always, who comes in and helps support the channel. Absolutely. There is Miss Lisa Joe, our resident squeaky wheel that we love. Welcome, ma'am. Oh, okay, November 27th. So the first live stream is going to be November 27th at 6 p.m. Central Time on Timmy's Legacy YouTube channel. Absolutely. I will be watching. Absolutely. I will mark that on my calendar and remind me again, because I hope I'm going to try to remember. I will share it far and wide everywhere. And I encourage everybody else to do so. Also, share it, share it, share it, share it. All right. Just getting caught up. Gail said, and Texas. Yeah, we got all the U.S. represented. We got Texas, we got Minnesota, we got Michigan, Arkansas, at least me in Arctic. Excellent. Bling says she absolutely does. Is a big part of Timmy's Legacy Foundation. As she says, we will be working on the paperwork tomorrow. Excellent. For the nonprofit. Excellent, excellent. Happy to hear that. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, like I said, I have a habit of inviting myself to places. So, but thank you so much. Yeah, I would love to be a guest at some point. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Thank you, thank you. Right, just there's Miss Peggy. Welcome, Miss Peggy. Good to have you here. She says, hi, everyone. Made another live. Absolutely. Good to see you, ma'am. I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Thank you so much. Miss Peggy says she just subscribed to Barbara's channel. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes, please, everybody go sub up and share it. Share the link. Absolutely. All right. I think I'm caught up in comments. Still fighting with the computer. Oh, man. You're doing better than I am. Junior says that he takes a 2-mile walk every night. I need to get out and start walking. It's not like I don't live on a farm with a whole lots of land that I can walk on. Oh, I like to walk. I do. I actually do like to walk. I just have to make myself do it. Make the time to do it. All right. So, like I said, tonight is our Sunday edition of Missing Person Monday. Because I had to switch some stuff around. And tonight we are featuring, I think I have 8 missing persons cases from Minnesota. Minnesota. That was a horrible Midwest accent. My brother would not be happy with me for hearing that. Although he's a transplanted Southerner that's now a Midwesterner. So I lost my, are you making fun of my accent? At least Jill said I, or I guess that is what it is. I. Okay, so Miss Barb says, can somebody come carry me for 2 miles, please? Yes, Miss Barbara, we would absolutely do anything for you, love. We would carry you wherever you wanted or needed to go. All right. Okay, so I believe I have 8 cases, and I think I found basic information as always comes from the Charley Project. And then I think I found supplemental. I'm making up my own words tonight. Supplemental articles. Yes, far says Miss Barb, we will carry you. Absolutely. Some extra articles from the Google machine with some additional information. I always try to find articles with interviews with family members, law enforcement, any updates to the cases. So I think I found some extra information for maybe all but maybe 2 or 3 of them, because that's just with these cold cases. A lot of times, if they haven't got a lot of attention, which most of these that I feature haven't, because I like to feature cases that don't get the attention that they deserve, that need more awareness brought to them. It's just hard to find extra information, but I do search the Google machine, like I said, and see what I can find. Welcome, GP. GP said late but here. That's all right. You're fine. You're not late. We're just getting started, or I haven't got started yet. Fixing to get started. Good to have you here, GP. All righty. So first, we have Peter Achermann. And Peter went missing on July 24th, 2009 from Staples, Minnesota. He is a white male. He was 82 years old at the time he went missing. He would be 97 years old today. 5'7", 170 pounds. He was last seen wearing a tan and brown cotton button-down shirt, tan cargo pants, boxer shorts, a leather belt imprinted with a Native American saying, tan socks with rust-colored toes, brown Dr. Scholl's shoes with Velcro closures, floppy red, white, and blue, a crochet beret. I'm assuming kind of like the beret that he's wearing there in the picture, but just a different color, and a silver crucifix necklace. Excuse me. It says that he did suffer from jaundice, and which jaundice is a condition that causes your skin and sometimes the whites of your eyes to turn yellow. Other than that, they said he was in good health. He was not taking any medication at the time of his disappearance. He has gray hair, brown eyes. It says he had multiple hip replacement surgeries with resulting scarring from those surgeries. He has a strawberry birthmark on the back of his neck. He wore a black and gray beard at the time of his disappearance. He did walk with a cane. He wore glasses and a full set of dentures, and he is a native of Switzerland. So Peter was last seen in Staples, Minnesota on July 24, 2009. He had left his residence to run errands. He was last seen on Warner Road by the Crow Wing River Bridge, and this was between noon and 1 p.m. It says he had only about $30 in cash on him at the time that he disappeared. For identification, he carried his driver's license and his green card. He was expected to be home by around 2 p.m., but he never arrived home, and he's never been heard from again. The next day, his light blue 1995 Chevy Caprice station wagon was found. It was stuck in the mud in a wooded area at the end of what they say a minimum maintenance road, which in the country we call them field roads. Basically just dirt roads that either lead out into a field or a wooded area or something of that nature. And this was off County Road 32, which was 10 miles from where he lived in Leader, Minnesota. And it did have a picture of the car. I think I forgot to put it on the slide, though. Groceries that Mr. Achermann had bought were inside, as well as prescription medication for his wife, but there was no sign of him at the scene. His cane and the car keys were also missing. It said that the terrain in that area was rough, brush field, and they say it is unlikely that Mr. Achermann would have been able to get far on foot, even with his cane. Mr. Achermann's son stated that his father would have no reason to go to that road where the car was found, and he thinks that someone else left the car there and that Mr. Achermann himself was never there. Mr. Achermann's family stated that he was in good health at the time of his disappearance. He did not suffer from Alzheimer's, any form of dementia. He had been married for 50 years. By 2000, was it 2009 he disappeared? Yeah, 2009 when he disappeared. He and his wife had been married 50 years. They had 11 children, 8 of whom were still alive by the time of his disappearance. They had 13 foster children and 23 grandchildren. So that just breaks my heart even more with this case. That's such a big, huge, loving, and you could tell they had 13. They fostered children. They loved children. They had 13 foster children at one time. It's just breaks my heart. It also says that he had planned to speak at his granddaughter's wedding, which was scheduled for the day after he went missing. Since he went missing, there's been no activity on his bank account or his credit cards. An extensive search of the area turned up no sign of him. It says foul play is not suspected in his case, according to this Charley Project information, but of course it remains unsolved. So if you have any information on Mr. Achermann's case, you can call the Cass County Sheriff's Office at 800-480-2677. And I think I did have an article with an interview with the family. Turn my cam off for a minute while I'm reading this. Waiting for the article to come up as usual. All right, so this article is from 2021, so it's not too old. He went missing in 2009. It says when 16-year-old Delane Voigt met Peter Achermann, who is the missing gentleman, it says it was love at first sight. She knew right then and there that she was going to marry him, and she did on April 13th, 1953. They had 11 children over time, and the family eventually settled in the 1960s on a remote 540-acre farm in Leader, Minnesota. And today, or as of, 2021, when this article was written, the family property consists of about 200 acres. So Delane and Peter spent 56 years together, and that says they should have celebrated 12 or more anniversaries, but those years were stolen from them. The last time that Delane saw Peter was July 24, 2009. On that day, he disappeared. If you hear noise in the background, the cats are at the door. They're mad because I kicked them out. He disappeared on July 24, 2009. On that day, he disappeared, and the family's life was turned upside down. Peter has been missing for a dozen years more now, over 12 years now, and despite extensive searches and a reward offered to find Peter, very little evidence of what happened to him has been found. It's like he disappeared into thin air. We say that a lot around here. We know people don't just vanish into thin air, but sometimes it just seems, in cases like this especially, that's just what it seems like. Delane and her children think of him every day, and it breaks their hearts not knowing what happened to their loved one. The family believes Peter, who would be 94, he would be, 97 as of 2024. They think he is no longer alive. The family did declare him deceased on July 24th, 2013, for legal reasons, and they hosted a funeral for him in 2018. During an emotional interview on July 23rd of 2021, I'm assuming, said it was a hot, humid day with temperatures in the 90s. Delane, his wife, who is now 86 at the time, and her youngest son, George or Jorg, because they're from Switzerland. So I'm trying to pronounce the right pronunciation. Oh, don't tell me it put it behind a paywall. Oh, man. It put it behind a paywall. I swear I read it. It let me read the whole thing last night without putting it behind a paywall. That just irritates me. Sometimes it'll let me go back in and read. I just wanted to get some comments in from the family. Okay, so let me read fast before it kicks me out again. It says the day Peter went missing was like any other day on the farm. Delane said, as she sat at the kitchen table with Jorg with a fan blowing. It was around lunchtime on July 24th, 2009, when Peter got into his vehicle to head to Staples, Minnesota. He was going to pick up some milk and bananas, his wife's medication. He was going to drop off a check for the caterers for his granddaughter Simone's wedding, which was scheduled for the next day. Delane says, I didn't go with him that day because I was making Amish bread. It says he always liked to just jump in the car and go for a run, just for something to do. However, Peter never returned. Delane said she was not too concerned at first, but after he wasn't home a few hours later, she knew something was wrong. She said that he would always call her if he was going to be late coming home. She says it was maybe about 3 p.m. He still wasn't home. I know he would come home to play a game of cards and to visit. He wouldn't be one to go off. And then I thought maybe he went to Piers. Piers, I don't know if that's a town or a place, like an establishment, to visit a friend. She said, but that's not like Peter to do that. The family began calling around, asking if anyone had seen Peter. They also called the sheriff's department. Delane says, I was very worried. She says, I was tying a rug and I tied it in no time because, she was worried. She says, where was he? I kept looking down the road to see if he was coming. She says, it was a nice sunny day that day. She says, I called my son and I said, what did you and your dad do? And he said that we had coffee at the El Rey in Motley, and then he went on his way. Delane said Peter, like I said earlier, had a sound mind, no Alzheimer's, no dementia. He was healthy, even though he did use a walking cane. The car that he was in was running fine, no problems with the car. Surveillance cameras at Ernie's in Staples showed Peter appeared fine as he was getting the groceries. Delane said, I called hospital. I have to go back. It'll let me go back, read some, and then go back in, and it'll let me read more. Sorry for the continued interruptions. I hate these paywalls. Come on. I'm not going to read this whole article because it's a very long article, but I just wanted, like I said, get some of the comments and observations from the families in, if it'll come up again. Well, there we go. Okay. Come on. It's taking its sweet time to load as usual. There we go. All right. See if I can get down to where I was at and read some more. Come on. Keep loading. Keep loading. Was almost down to where I was left off. Oh my goodness, that may be all we get from this one. That irritates me. Irritates me, irritates me. Oh my goodness, come on. Let me try doing a new tab. I apologize, as usual. It shouldn't be my signal. I've actually got 3 bars on my phone right now. Maybe the paywall. Oh, I'll get to some comments while we're waiting. See where I left off at. Lots of comments, lots of comments. That is good. Yeah, talking about walking earlier. Far says sounds like a lot of us should be doing a bit more walking. I know I need to be do a lot more walking and exercising. Did I miss Miss PJ? Oh, there she is. Hey, Miss PJ. Good to have you here, my dear. Always good to have you here. Sorry, my nose is itching. Thank you so much for being here. Please do check out Lighting Their Way Home, Miss PJ's channel. I'm sure somebody's probably already thrown the links in. All right. Seeing if it is loaded yet. Nope, it's not loading at all anymore. So I guess that's all the article we're going to get on. Well, we got a little bit of it. Let me try one more time to do a new tab, and then if it won't come up, I'll just we'll move on to the next one if it won't come up. Get caught up in comments. Sorry. Miss Lisa Joe says I can think of about 12 missing from here off the top of my head. Yeah, it's just there's so many missing. It's just Junior was asking GP if they were going to do the memorial walk for Flora. There's Mr. Steve. Hello, Mr. Steve. Good to have you here. If he's still here, I'm a little bit behind in comments. About 15 minutes behind in comments. Always good to have Mr. Steve here. Always an honor to have Mr. Steve. We love Mr. Steve. Please do check out True Crime Web. And I do also have the link to the True Crime Web Foundation in the description of the live stream. Please do check it out along with his YouTube channel. Welcome, Mr. Steve. I hope you're doing well. I think I saw that Mr. Steve was going to be on panel early. He was on panel earlier on who was it with? Tom Webster, I believe. I'll have to go check it out when we get done here. Gail said Mr. Achermann's a nice looking fellow. Yep. He looks like and I mean this in the nicest possible way, like a movie character or something, like a Disney movie character or something. He's just got that look about him. I love it, love it. Miss Barb says she saw Mr. Steve earlier tonight. Oh, well, now it's still trying to put me behind the paywall here. If it doesn't load by the time I get caught up in comments, we'll move on to the next one. I apologize. I hope the other, I try to, when I'm looking for the articles to use to find the ones that are not behind paywalls. And like I said, a lot of times when I read them the first time, when I find them, they'll let me read the whole article. Maybe it's you can only read it so many times before it puts you behind the paywall. Anyway, yep, absolutely broken hearts. Mr. Steve telling Miss Barbara, he thought he saw her name fly by in the chat. I'm assuming you're talking about on Tom Webster. Is that the name of his channel? I've heard his name, but I don't know if that's the name of his channel or because I do want to go check out Mr. Steve on there. That Arctic says, I would imagine at 82, he likely had an accident due to a medical emergency. I'd be looking at all the waterways. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Yes, absolutely. 56 years with one woman. That's a long time. That is a long time. Yes, it's absolutely sad. It's still putting me behind the firewall, so I apologize for that. So I'll get caught up in comments and we will move on to the next missing. Let me get her information coming up on the Charley Project. I know the Charley Project won't throw me behind a paywall. When the day comes when Charley Project starts throwing me behind, starts throwing paywalls up, I'll just be, yes, Far says, so very sad, absolutely. Yes, and all the kids, they said, what, 11 kids of their own? They had, I think, 13 foster children, 20-something grandchildren. Just amazing. Okay, Miss Lisa just said Piers is a town. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Yes, they did find the car. Miss Gail said that they found the car. I think he walked off and was never found, may have passed out or in a field. They just didn't look in the right place. Yeah. Because I don't know, it didn't mention, and I don't know if it mentioned in the article that I can't read the rest of, if there were any waterways, but then again, they said it was off at the end of a basically a farm road, that we call it here, basically a dirt road that leads into either a field area, a wooded area. It's also very, just like water, it is very hard to find people in wooded areas. So it is just unfortunate. And a lot of times, probably, I don't know the exact statistic, but, probably 99% of the time, anybody who gets lost and passes in any kind of wooded area or things of that nature, it is just by accident that somebody finds them. A hunter, a jogger, or somebody out hiking just happens to come across the remains and finds them. So we just hope if that's the case with Mr. Achermann, that one of these days somebody will happen to find him. But, best case scenario, he would be somewhere out there still alive, but at 97 years old, and his family even said that they don't think that he is still alive, and I think they said they had him declared a deceased in 2000, what did I say? I know you have to wait a certain amount of years, 2018 maybe, or somewhere around there. Oh, comments jumped on me. Goodness gracious, a lot of them popped up. All right, I got back down to where I was at. Gail says, were the groceries still in the car? I remember reading that. Let me go back to his Charley Project information. I think the groceries were still in the car, but let me check. Yes, it says groceries that he had bought were inside the car. His wife's prescription medication that he had picked up were in the car. He was not in the car. His cane or the car keys were not in the car. So he was gone. His cane was gone and the car keys. So that would lead me to believe that it said the family said he would have no reason to be on that particular road. I think they said it was 10 miles from the house from where they lived. So that's the thing that would confuse me and make me think that something nefarious may have happened. But then again, because what was he doing on that road? They said, he didn't have any dementia, anything like that. You would think they had lived there for lots and lots of years. So you would think he wouldn't be lost. So why would he? That's the biggest question to me, in my opinion. That's the most, is why was he down that road in the first place? So that part of it would make me think something did happen. But then again, the only thing missing was him, the cane, and the car keys. So that would lead me to believe, on the other hand, that for whatever reason, he did go down this road and either got stuck in it, the car stalled out, and he was just going to get out and walk home or walk somewhere. It was 10 miles. So, or maybe go back up to the main road and get a ride with somebody. Very, very strange. Very strange. Let's see. Yes, that was absolutely a good question by Miss Gail. Thank you very much, Arctic, threw in Mr. Steve's link. And there once again is the link to Timmy's Legacy YouTube channel. Miss PJ's got some purple hearts. Yes, so many missing. So many missing. There's a link to Miss PJ's channel. Lance is waving. I think that's a waving hand. I can't see. Oh, Gail says we have 2 missing from here, and we have 2 missing from here. One from yesterday. We live in a town smaller than Delphi. Oh my goodness. Junior says he watched part of Tom's channel. What is his channel called? Because I want to check it out. Somebody probably already. I'm still behind in comments. Probably already put it in. I definitely want to check it out and see Mr. Steve. Oh goodness. Lance says he is dealing with fake people and scammers on Facebook. I know it's rampant. It's rampant everywhere. Miss Gail said yes, that's where she saw the national treasure, aka Mr. Steve, tonight. He is our national treasure. Oh, there's JP. He made it. He's got another tardy slip, he says. He missed roll call again. Here comes another tardy slip. Welcome, JP. Good to have you here. Please do check out JP's music channel. I shared the one you told me about the other night, JP, the Hatred's Way. I shared it, listened to it, absolutely love it. Please do check out his music channel. He also has a second channel, Analyze This, where he shares true crime stuff. JP is so good about sharing a lot of creators missing stuff, our videos, our community tabs, community posts where we share missing person flyers and information. He does an excellent job, just like all you guys do, of sharing. Chris made it. Good to have you here, Chris. Good to see you. Thank you. There is absolutely Arctic is on top of it as always. There is JP's music channel. Thank you so much. Yep, they had 13 foster children. So I think it said, let me go back. They had where did it say? Let me get to it. They had 11 children of their own. They had 13 foster children. So that would be 20, I'm trying to do math in my head, which is not a good thing. 24 altogether. So, because 11, I'm assuming that were their own, biological, 13 fosters, and 23 grandchildren. That is a big, big family. But God bless them for fostering children. That is needed so much these days. Fostering, adopting, whatever you can do. Okay, Lisa Joe says where she's at, minimum maintenance roads can be trails through the woods. Absolutely. Yeah, it said he was at the says his vehicle was found stuck in the mud in a wooded area at the end of a minimum maintenance road off of a county road. So that I just want to know. I want to know why if it was him that went down there. Why? How did he end up down there? If it was him that did it and not somebody else. But if it was somebody, the only thing that gets me though is if it was somebody else that did it, or maybe they just did it to make it look like it was him. Why would, if somebody else, for whatever reason, did something to him and took the car down there, why take the cane and the car keys unless it was to stage it to look like that it was Mr. Achermann that had for some reason went down that road, got stuck, and then got out and walked and disappeared. But please let me know in comments what you guys think. I would think not very far. Lance says, how far can you walk at 97? Because I don't know if it was in the Charley Project. I think one of his children said that he would not, let me see, he would not, even with his cane, would not have been able to walk very far at all. It says the terrain in that area was rough and brush filled and is unlikely that Mr. Achermann would have been able to go far on foot even with his cane. And his son said that his father had no reason to go to the road where the car was found, and he thinks that someone else left the car there and that Mr. Achermann himself was never there. So I can see that. Yeah, just why would he go down there himself? That's my question. Yes, it's very sad. Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. James. He's probably already gone. Just been watching, heading to bed. Good night. Thank you, everyone. Everyone, thank you so much for everything you do for everyone else. God bless you all. Thank you, Mr. James. God bless you too, sir. Yep. Arctic says Maura Murray allegedly ran into the woods. If you believe law enforcement's theory, and she still hasn't been found. Yeah, this one's just a weird, strange. I mean, like I said, I could make arguments or theories for either way that it was somebody else that may have something, seen him in town or somewhere and did something to him and drove the car out there and made it look like that it was Mr. Achermann. I don't know. I have problems with him being down that road in the first place. I just, All right, we're getting caught up. Then we will move on to the next one. Thank you, Miss PJ. Miss Barbara says she's the normal one. Normal is relative. That could also be true too. Miss Lisa Joe says maybe he had some sort of health event, heat stroke even, and wasn't thinking straight. That is true. That is true. Because that even if he was in good health, at how old was he disappeared? 82 years old when he disappeared. Anything could happen. It doesn't matter how old you are, any of us, no matter how old we are, anything could happen at any time. So that is a distinct possibility. Mr. Steve said, because Lance asked how far Mr. Achermann can walk at 97, and Mr. Steve says, I don't know at 97. So, but I watched my 82, which Mr. Achermann was 82 when he disappeared. Watched my 82-year-old grandmother drag a 15-pound snapping turtle. Them snapping turtles are mean. With her walking stick over a mile, and never knew what she would bring home next. That sounds like my grandma. Oh, goodness gracious. Never knew what my grandma would do. Even up into her 80s, she was, and my grandfather too, up into their 70s and 80s, they were still active. Of course, they, farm family, farmed and raised cattle and chickens and everything else out here. So, yeah, they were tough. They were tough. Absolutely. So I definitely can relate to what you're saying, Mr. Steve. Gail thinks that Mr. Ackerman walked away. Fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, yep. There had to be a reason. I just want to know why he was down that road. Like I said, it could have been like I'm sorry, I forgot who said it now. He could have had some kind of medical incident that kind of affected his thinking, and he just turned down the wrong road and ended up there. And when it got out to walk, and maybe it was in a wooded area, and that he has never been found yet. Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Farr says. Yes, hit that like button, leave your DNA. Absolutely. There's Miss Doris. She is back. Hey, Miss Doris, good to have you here. GP says, I think there is 1,160 in Indiana, I think still. Are you talking about? You'll have to explain to me what you're talking about. I might have missed something, or you may not be talking to me. Gail says Mob Crew. Yeah, I haven't watched anything on the Mob Crew in a long time. I've got to get back over there and check out Chris. I know for a long time he was doing a lot of stuff on Sebastian's case, and I kind of got burned out on all that stuff. But I do like watching the Mob Crew. I do like watching Chris. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be kissing on any snapping turtles. I can tell you that. Lance says, I remember trying to kiss a snapping turtle when I was 4 years old, and it latched onto my nose. Telling you, snapping turtles are nothing. You don't want to mess with them things. We around here, we get huge, huge snapping turtles. Telling you, snapping turtles that could drag off a small child. I'm not exaggerating. They get big around here. Yes, that is JP's other channel is Analyze This. Absolutely. Junior wants to know what do they call ruckus. Don't let Mr. Steve answer that question. I'm sure he has an answer for that. Yes, absolutely. Sharing is caring. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Arctic is fast on getting them links in. Absolutely. Yep, there is JP's second channel. JP says he also has a gaming channel, but he doesn't care about it. Yes, that is absolutely my question also. Why did he go down there? Because you would assume, like I said once again earlier, they had lived there for many years, so you would think he knew his way around. It was 10 miles. This road that the car was found on was 10 miles away from the home, from their property. It did not say how far it was from town. If it was, but yeah, that is the question. Why was he down there in the first place? Unless he had some kind of medical emergency that affected his thinking, and that's just where he ended up. I don't know. JP has an excellent question. Says, was he known to frequently just go out and take walks? I think in the article I was trying to read, let me see if it says anything. That his wife said, I don't know about walks, but that he would go out just to get out of the house sometimes to drive around. But he would always, if he was going to be late, he would always call and let them know what was going on if he was going to be late coming home. I believe, if I remember correctly, from the little bit of the article that I got to read, is what his wife said. Trying to look in the Charley Project and see if it said, yeah, whether he's walking or just going out to town or to a friend's house. I think it said he liked to go to a friend's house and play cards, but he would always let them know if he was going to be late coming home. Yeah, see, that's also nags in my brain too. Lance says, seems like it was someone else that was trying to take that car somewhere to hide it and got stuck. They should have taken footwear impressions to know. That's true. That is true. And they could have. We don't know. It's just, it wasn't included in the limited information that we have here. Yeah. Far says, so he shouldn't be far from the car if that is the case. Yeah, that's what you would think. And they said, and I think in that article, when I did read it the first time, they did multiple extensive searches in that area around where the car was found with drones and I think scent dogs and everything, on foot. And they never had found any sign of him at all. There is Grandma Sherry. Welcome. I think I've seen you, it may be Dago's channel and his chats with Arctic and Doodle. When I get a chance, I go over and listen to the, what they call it, Meatballs in the Morning show. Usually when I'm at work, and if I'm sitting in the car waiting for orders to come in and I get bored of listening to the radio, I'll see what's going on over there with the Meatballs in the Morning. But welcome, Grandma Sherry. Good to have you here. Paula is agreeing with me about something. Okay, I'm trying to get caught up so I don't want to bore everybody and get JP says, sounds like he could have possibly fled the situation or was trying to flee the situation. Now, I hadn't thought about that angle. Yeah, it could be that somebody got in the car with him or forced themselves into the car and he was in the car. Maybe I don't know how come. Well, it was 2009. Maybe trying to steal the vehicle or something, and ended up down that road and did something with Mr. Achermann and put him somewhere and took off because the car was stuck. That is also a possibility. Yep. JP says could have been fight or flight. Yep. Thank you, Junior. Junior says he's going to go to bed, that he'll be listening. Good night, everyone. Thank you, sir, for being here. Always an honor and a pleasure to have Mr. Junior Johnson here. Very wonderful, wonderful supporter of the channel. Yes, JP says strange things happening every day. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Grandma Sherry says one of my neighbors wanders off a couple times a month. The longest he was missing was 2 days. Yep, that's scary. Scary, scary. Yes, definitely. I think out of all of these tonight, this was the strangest one, is because I always try to think and reason out, what happened, what might have happened, what the different scenarios are. And with this one, I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, I can make theories for both cases that something happened and he did just wander off himself. And then on the other hand, I could come up with theories of, something nefarious happening. It's just one of those things. One of those cases cases like these are ones that keep me awake at night thinking about what happened. JP, well, if it'll come up. It says his mental health was good. It says did not have Alzheimer's, no signs of dementia. He was in good health other than having to walk with a cane. You know, he was 82 years old, reasonably good health. So his mental health is mental, well, as far as his cognitive, now I don't know about mental health. Didn't say anything about the mental health, but I would just, well, I'm not going to assume anything, but because I don't know. Oop, everything just jumped again. Oh my goodness. Okay. A whole bunch of comments just popped up. That is true. Could have been a mental health crisis. Yes, we had to do the same thing with my grandmother. Arctic says it's so scary to have a family member that wanders off. I watched my dad like a hawk when he was diagnosed with dementia. Yes, when my grandmother, she developed dementia, and before she passed, or before we took care of her for as long as we could before we finally, we just couldn't give her the care that she needed. So we put her in the nursing home, just, 5 minutes away. But yeah, we had to eventually take her car keys away because she couldn't drive anymore. And we would go and she would be just out, we found her walking down I call it was gravel at the time, our road. A lot of times she was going to walk to town, even though she knew all she had to do was pick up the phone and call us if she needed to go anywhere. But no, we'd go over there. What are you doing? She was walking down the road. I'm going to town. So yeah, it's just very, very, very scary. JP says, yeah, I think at that age a lot can happen to the mind. What do you think was happening? You've heard my I have no clue. Miss Lisa says maybe he saw an animal and followed it, injured an injured animal. Even that's a possibility. Okay, I got you. JP says, not you, but him. What was he thinking was happening? What was he perceiving that was possibly happening that made him run away if he ran away? That is, yeah, that is true. Welcome back, Christopher Luttrell. Good to have you here. Says, do you have a car or a truck? I don't know who you're talking to. Yes, JP says the reason he was asking is because older people are known to develop dementia and put themselves into some really awkward situations. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, GP says 1,160 missing people in Indiana. That's a lot of people. Yeah, I tend to agree. That is that is also true, Gail, about Mob Crew. Yeah, Paula says never mess with a snapping turtle. Absolutely. Okay, I'm going to let's see. Just when I think I get caught up, they never found his remains, JP. So no autopsy. He is still missing. Spaghetti sounds excellent. JP says you said meatballs. I was talking about meatballs in the morning on Dago's channel. Said JP said I had spaghetti for dinner. Uh, Spaghetti sounds wonderful. I'm just getting caught up. Trying to get caught up. Oh, yes. Tomorrow, thank you, Chris, for reminding me. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, so thank you to everybody for their military service, the past, present, and future. Absolutely. Absolutely. So apparently JP was a service member. Thank you so much, JP. Oh, heavy artillery. Bless you, sir. Thank you. Absolutely. Far said they had we had remembrance here today, 11th at the 11th on the 11th. Yes, absolutely. Thank you to everyone who served in the past, who is serving now, who will serve in the future. All right, I think I am caught up. Okay, so I'm going to mark that so I will know where to come back to. All right, so next we have Carla Beth Anderson. Get me a drink before I start reading again. Turn my cam off for a minute. So Carla Beth went missing on November 13th, 1987, from Wadena, Minnesota. She was a white female. She was just 23 years old when she went missing. She would be 60 years old today. When she went missing, she was 4'11", 5 foot, 80 pounds. She was a tiny thing. Or 4'11" to 5 foot and 80 pounds. She was last seen wearing a brown and orange Hardee's jacket, a white Pepsi and Mountain Dew sweatshirt with 3 bears on it, blue jeans, and pink sneakers. She did have a mild mental disability. She has blonde hair and blue or brown eyes, it says. Apparently, they're not certain. And she did have a 1/2-inch scar over her right eye from stitches. So Carla Beth was last seen in Wadena, Minnesota on November 13th, 1987. She was employed at a Hardee's restaurant at the time she disappeared. On the day she went missing, she found out that she had been named Employee of the Month at work at the Hardee's. She and her mother and stepfather had gone out to eat at the Taco John's restaurant that evening to celebrate her being named Employee of the Month at Hardee's. After dinner, which was between 7:30 and 8 p.m., Carla Beth's mother and stepfather picked up some movies for her to watch. They dropped her off at her apartment. It was the Greenwood Apartments. It says it was established that she did make it safely inside her apartment that evening. She had been carrying a cup of soda with her when their parents dropped her off. That empty cup was found inside the apartment, and one of the videos that they had rented for her to watch was found in the VCR. Carla Beth did not show up for her morning work shift the next day, which is uncharacteristic of her. They said she was an exemplary employee. She has never been seen or heard from after her parents dropped her off that night. And nothing appeared to be amiss in the apartment. The only thing missing were her car keys and her Hardee's jacket. It says the apartment door was locked from the outside. The building itself did have a security door, but it said the door had been propped open that night by other tenants who were moving in. On the night that she disappeared, it says there was a fire burning in a swamp on the outskirts of Wadena. They said that she would have been able to see this fire from one of her windows. So authorities had theorized that she left home to go look at the fire up close, and that someone attacked her and kidnapped her there or somewhere in between. It says, but there is no evidence to support that theory. Also interesting, that same evening, a brown Plymouth Horizon, which I do have a picture of, the smaller picture there on the slide. A brown Plymouth Horizon was stolen a couple of blocks from Carla Beth's apartment building. It was never recovered. It is unknown whether the stolen car has any connection to Carla's case. Her loved one stated that local people did sometimes harass her or attempt to take advantage of her because of her mild mental disabilities. But she tried to lead as normal a life as possible. She was proud of being independent and having a job and a home of her own. It says she also had a boyfriend who lived in Lake Park, Illinois. It says suspected serial offender Floyd Todd Tapson was considered a possible suspect in her disappearance for a short time, but he was cleared from that case after being interviewed by investigators. But he is still a suspect in the disappearance of another young lady named Christy Nickel. She was also a mentally disabled teenager. She disappeared from Grand Forks, North Dakota in 1996. It says that all members of Carla's family have been ruled out as suspects in her case. Her boyfriend was also ruled out as a suspect. Unfortunately, both her parents passed away in 2008. Foul play is suspected in her disappearance, but there is little evidence as to what actually happened to her. So if you have any information on Carla Beth's case, you can call the Wadena Police Department at 218-631-7700. And I think I do have, if it'll come up, hopefully it's not behind a paywall, an article, and also if it will load. There it is. Oh, I hope it's not going to get in the middle of it and then disappear on me. So this article is from 2012. It says it says about 25 years after a disappearance shook the Wadena community, local law enforcement is still looking for leads. Carla Beth Anderson was 23 at the time of her disappearance on Friday, November 13th, 1987. Wadena Police Chief Bruce Uselman said there have not been any major developments in the last years, but technology may help them solve the cold case. He says the technology is different than what it was 25 years ago. Uselman said they were able to look at Carla's medical and dental records. He also said they were able to secure DNA samples from her biological mother, which could potentially help find her. In 2008, she was listed on the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension cold case playing cards, which are displayed in police departments around the state. Uselman, who started working with the Wadena Police Department a couple of years after the disappearance, said the case remains active, even though all the leads they have followed up on have not been productive. The case will remain active until they make an arrest or find her remains. Uselman said we probably have 4 binders of information that have been documented and categorized. Carla's parents, Vern and Roberta Wells, last saw her. We went through that. They'd gone out to eat to celebrate her getting the Employee of the Month at Hardee's. They stopped and got her rented her some movies to watch, dropped her off at the apartment, and that was the last time that she was seen. Let's see. And she had, like I said, she had been named Employee of the Month at Hardee's by Wayne Walden, who was the manager at the time. Walden said, "Oh goodness, another paywall. Jeez. He said that she was a fantastic employee. She was always on time. Let me get back down to where I was. She was a fantastic employee, wonderful personality, lighthearted. She smiled a lot. He said he used to call her Spud because she was like a little potato. Once again, a paywall. Oh, that makes me mad. Anderson and her parents had supper at the Taco John's. I'm trying to see if there's any other information. Elaine Waldall was the police investigator. Oh my goodness, it keeps putting up the paywall. That just makes me so mad. That's why I try to stick with. Usually you can find, something from news websites instead of just these local websites. Those are the ones that have the paywalls. It's not going to let me read anymore. I'm sorry, guys. Ugh. All right, so let me get caught up in comments again, and then we will go on to the next one. Fine, there. Okay, there's where I was at. Okay, far is in Australia, says the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. We have a minute of silence to remember those lost and those returned. Excellent. That is excellent. Paula said both her grandfathers were in the service and her father was in the Air Force. Yes, my grandfather on my mom's side, my mom's dad, he was in the Army. He was in the actually in the 101st Airborne. So he jumped out of airplanes. He was in World War II, and he made many jumps behind enemy lines. But he thankfully he made it back, and or else I wouldn't be here today. Yep, he was a member of the 101st Airborne. And then I had an uncle on my dad's side who was in the Air Force. Absolutely. Thank everybody for their service. Hello, Michelle C. Good to have you here, my dear. She says she's been listening since the beginning, but forgot to come to chat and say hi. That's fine. That's fine, sweetheart. Good to have you here. Oh, JP said he had to go. I probably missed him. He's got to take a call. Oh, he says he will see us if we're still here when he gets back. Gail said she's gonna get snacks. Snacks sound good. Oh, is JP back? He said he hates phone calls. Absolutely. Thank all the veterans for their service. Yes, ma'am. Oh goodness. Miss Lisa Joe says she was literally in the Taco John's drive-through. Oh my goodness, that's funny. Yes, absolutely. Chris was telling Miss Gail to stay safe and warm and healthy during the crazy weather. What kind of weather are y'all having? It rained a lot here today. Or not a lot, but just enough to make you to irritate you. Miss Barbara wants a burrito supreme from Taco John's. We don't have Taco John's around here in the South. We have a lot of Mexican food. Of course, we have Taco Bells, and then we have traditional Mexican restaurants. Now everybody's giving their orders to Miss Lisa Joe for Taco John's. Y'all gonna make me hungry again. And I actually ate at Waffle House today. I had I guess you would call it brunch. And I had to go pick up my mom, and when we got back to town, or to the next town over, we ate at the Waffle House. I had my ham, egg, and cheese hash brown bowl that I've been craving all week, basically. I finally got to have it today. It was very good. Oh, thank you, Arctic. He said his meds are kicking in. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here, my friend. Have a good night. You and the kitties. Thank you, Miss Barb. That is very sweet. Hello, JC Ann. Welcome. Good. Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my cam back on. Welcome, JC Ann. Good to have you here. Christopher says he gives his thanks to all branches of the military. Absolutely. Hey, Melissa Wildcard. Good to have you here. Good to see you. There is Miss Heather Brown. Oh, did she come up? Where's she at? There she is. Hello, Miss Heather Brown. Always good to have you here, love. Always see Miss Heather in Dave's chats, our night owls. Good to have you here. Always, always. We love Miss Heather Brown. Thank you, Grandma Sherry. Says, take care, y'all. Thanks for the coverage, Southern Gal. Absolutely. Thank you for dropping in, Grandma Sherry. Good to have you here. Miss Lisa Joe, she was in bed and her boyfriend was snoring so loud, couldn't hear the live, and then she got hungry, apparently, and then went to Taco John's. Oh, goodness. Miss Barbara says she's going to get some cookies and milk. That sounds good. Yes. We love you too, Miss Heather. All right. I'm caught up with comments. And once again, the paywall. Hopefully the rest of the articles that I have don't have paywalls. So who we on next? So I can get the right article. Nathan Edberg. So let me get his information. There we go. Get a drink. So Nathan went missing on April 14th, 1999 from White Bear Lake, Minnesota. He is a white male. He was 21 years old when he went missing. He will be 47 years old today. When he went missing, he was 6'4" and 210 pounds. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and blue-gray corduroy pants or denim jeans. And it said that he usually wore a baseball cap. It does say he was depressed at the time of his disappearance. He had black hair and brown eyes. Both of his ears were pierced. His left ear is pierced twice. His nickname is Nate. Okay. His nickname is Nate, and he wore white wire-frame glasses for reading and driving. So Nathan was last seen leaving Decoys Bar and Grill on 4th Street, which is in White Bear Lake, Minnesota, on April 14th, 1999. Witnesses at the bar did not recall the exact time that he left. His pickup truck was found in a ditch at the junction of Interstate 694 and Interstate 35E near Little Canada. It says shortly thereafter, so I'm assuming sometime after he left the bar. There was no sign of him at the scene, no evidence of foul play, but there were a few footprints heading east. Authorities said that it appeared as though that he had missed the turn on the highway and ended up driving into the ditch. After that, he has never been heard from again. The bartender at Decoys told authorities that Nathan was a regular customer at the bar. He said that Nathan arrived at approximately 7:30 p.m. on the night of his disappearance. He ordered a beer. Now, this is one thing that's worrying, being as it mentioned that he had depression. The bartender stated that Nathan seemed to be happier than he had been during previous visits, and we'll kind of go into a little bit about that in a minute. Nathan was apparently depressed in April of 1999. His parents were going through a divorce. He had lost his job. He had broken up with his girlfriend of 4 years. At the time that he vanished, he was living with one of his cousins. His parents did not report him missing until they realized that his truck had been in the impound lot for several days. When they hadn't heard from him, they thought that he simply wanted to be left alone, just to think and to process things, have some alone time. He was a resident of, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, it's spelled Vadnais, Benet Heights, Minnesota, in 1999. He graduated from White Bear Lake High School in 1996. He attended college for a year after he graduated from high school. Since his disappearance, he has not used his bank accounts or credit cards. Police are treating his case as a missing person, as there is no evidence of foul play. Unfortunately, his father did pass away in 2001, but his mother is still alive and searching for him. His case remains unsolved. So if you have any information regarding Nathan, you can call the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office at 651-266-7320. And once again, I do have find the right one. Hopefully this one is not behind a paywall. Miss Lisa Joe says Vadnos. Maybe I'm close. Hopefully I'm close. Vodnos or Vadnos. Right, once again, we're waiting for it to come up. Yeah, Chris says, Nathan, where'd it go? Oh, goodness. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Chris says Nathan's case has red flags. Vadness. Am I getting closer? Miss Lisa Joe's giving me Vadness. Hopefully I'm getting closer on that. Okay, so this is from May of 2024, so relatively new. Please let me read all of it without interruption. It says, searching for Nathan Edberg 25 years later. Our investigators have not stopped looking for him, read an April 15th Facebook post from the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. April 14th, 1999 was the last day anyone saw Nathan Edberg. The 21-year-old Vadnais Heights residence was spotted at Decoy's Bar in White Bear Lake that evening. To the average bystander, Edberg was out for the same reason anyone else would be, enjoying a few last-minute drinks before calling it a night. Well, where's the rest of it? Come on. It's taking its time loading. Telling you, these articles are giving me fits tonight. Miss Lisa Joe said, yes, I finally got it right. Hopefully. Oh, come on. Oh my goodness, these articles tonight are driving me nuts. Driving me nuts with their loading. Let me check some comments and see if the rest of it'll load. Yeah, Miss Barb says, oh no, Nathan. That's what Miss Lisa Joe was trying to get me to pronounce it right. Oh, everything just jumped. Thank you, Miss Heather. Miss Heather sent a $1.99 super sticker. Thank you, ma'am. Guess what? Guess what? You guys know what's coming. Let me find it. There he is. Thank you so much, Miss Heather. Appreciate it very much, love. That was very sweet of you. Thank you, thank you. Gail wants to know if Miss Barbara is still here. Oh yeah, she's still here. My articles aren't here, but everybody else is here. That's good. Oh, Miss PJ is back. Welcome back, Miss PJ. Oh no, that's fine. Miss Heather says, wish there were more, trying to spread the love, but I'm getting low. No, that is wonderful, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Miss PJ's got purple hearts. Yep, thank yous to Miss Heather. Miss Barbara's laughing at something. Oh, maybe the moo moo. Yeah, Miss Peggy is the mooing. We got the moo moo going. Oh goodness. All right, let me see if anything ever loaded. Yes, it finally more finally loaded. Okay, because it's got interviews with the family. Okay, so where was I at? Okay, so 25 years later, the search for Nathan's whereabouts has continued. Since then, there have been more questions than answers. But in the face of the case's uncertainty, those who knew Nathan best refused to give up on him. His mother, Jackie, says, I take comfort in that I will see him and hold him again someday. Jackie has described her son as easygoing and pleasant. She said there was a friendliness about him that we all loved. He was very much a people person who enjoyed being around others and telling jokes. According to Jackie, her son also had a deep love for basketball. She said he loved shooting hoops in our driveway. I'm surprised our neighbors didn't complain about the drum of the basketball on the driveway. He loved doing it so much. And Nathan's family has strived to preserve their son's memory over the years. Initially, this took the form of annual commemorative events at the local church. However, Jackie has recently found comfort in a more personal form of closure. She says, I write a letter to him every year. She says, I do it to update him about what's going on in our life or what he's missed since then. And I've actually heard read about other people that have missing loved ones who do this, or even loved ones that they've lost. They'll just every year, or every year, a week, a month, whatever, they'll just sit down and write a letter and then keep them in a box or somewhere special. The bizarre nature of Nathan's disappearance has also left others feeling lost. Miles Kinsler says, this case is unique in that there is no direction to go with it. It's hard when I don't have the pieces I need to figure this out. Kinsler is a cold case investigator for the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office. For the past 8 years, Kinsler has been the head investigator on Nathan's disappearance. But despite his experience solving missing persons cases, Kinsler remains stumped on Nathan's whereabouts. Kinsler says, Nathan's situation is an anomaly. As an investigator, I've worked or been involved in at least 100 missing persons cases. Typically, in those cases, we have something to go off of, and that is not the case here. So far, the only clue in Nathan's case came shortly after his disappearance. Authorities discovered his car in a ditch near Interstate 694 and I-35E. The keys were found locked inside the vehicle with no visible signs of a struggle. Since then, no new updates have pinpointed where Nathan could be. The lack of evidence has left authorities and Kinsler unable to draw conclusive theories on Nathan's location. Despite this, Kinsler said he has not given up on solving the case. He says, I've never lost hope on this. I believe he will be found someday, and the more eyes we get on this, the better. I would like to see this solved so that everyone associated with it can get the closure that they need. Absolutely. Edberg, his mom, Nathan's mom, firmly believes that her son's legacy will never vanish. She says he was a very caring, humorous individual who had a great charm to him. He'll never be forgotten by those who knew him. So once again, anyone with information regarding Nathan's case should contact the Ramsey County Sheriff's Office at 651-266-7320. Thank goodness we finally made it through a full article without a paywall popping up. So this is just another one. Breaks my heart hearing these parents, talk about, but those are the most important. That's why I love to find articles that have interviews with family members to get there, because I say this all the time, aside from the victims, the family members are the most important part of these cases. So I like to find articles with interviews with family members to get their perspective. All right, let me get caught up real quick. Chris says he wishes there was a hiss instead of a moo. We ain't doing no snakes around here. Well, actually, snakes don't bother me. We're not doing any spiders around here. Miss Barbara says, what a wonderful idea. Miss Lisa Joe says she loves that. I don't know if they're talking about they're writing the letters, possibly. Yes, I have, like I said, I've read and heard family members who've lost loved ones do that. They write letters and just put them in a box or somewhere, keep them in a special place. Yeah, Gail says, such a nice looking guy, all these nice looking people missing. Yep. Yep, 6'4". Yep, he was tall. He was a tall dude. He was tall. That's probably about as tall as my oldest nephew is. He's got to be 6'2", 6'3", 6'4". He is very tall. Oh, Chris says he loves snakes and spiders. Snakes don't bother me. Spiders, I can't do spiders. Can't do spiders. Yeah, I don't like any creepy crawlies. Heather says, Chris, not me, especially not. I don't like any bugs of any kind. Nope. Miss PJ says she doesn't like bugs or snakes. I'm a girly girl-ish. Yep. Far as like me, she says I don't like spiders at all. Snakes I can deal with. Yeah. I know to stay away from the poisonous snakes, and as long as they go their way, because we have found snakes in our house. Luckily, no venomous ones. It's just been like king snakes or the little garden snakes, grass snakes, and we just either, depending on how big they are, we usually get a rake or something and get them on the rake and just take them outside and put them out in the pasture away from the house so they don't try to come back in. As Heather says, she likes to get dirty, just doesn't like the creepy crawlies. Yeah, Miss Barbara says a moo with a dancing 70s lady, you can't beat it. Absolutely. Yes, and Sunshine, for anybody who didn't know, Sunshine Mind of Monsters is the one who made the cash cow, the moo cow. Gail says she's going to have nightmares about snakes and spiders. Yeah. Yes, talking about writing the letters. Oh, I love playing in the dirt, even as an adult. Maybe not playing in the dirt like we did with kids, but give me a freshly plowed field dirt or freshly tilled garden dirt, and I will go out there barefoot and walk in it all day long. It's the best. Fresh dirt is the best feeling in the world on your bare feet. I love it. I haven't been able to do it in a long time, but I love it. Miss Peggy says snakes and spiders are cool as long as I don't find them in my bed. Yeah. Oh no, she got bit twice by spiders in her sleep. Ugh. Ugh. Now you're gonna make me have nightmares. Heather says she can do most bugs and no snakes, though. Had one crawl over my bare foot last summer. Ew. Miss Lisa Josh says she loves reptiles, spiders. I do not want to touch me, though I have had tarantulas. Yeah, at one point, my youngest nephew, their class pet was a tarantula. I think her name was Molly. So when I guess I don't know what happened, they were going to get a new class pet or something. So they asked anybody who wanted to take Molly home, and of course my nephew said, "Yeah, well, I'll take her." So they had a tarantula in the house for a while. I refused to go because he kept it in his bedroom in the tank or whatever, you know. Oh, I would not go in that bedroom. Oh goodness. Sorry, my comments just jumped. Oh, we've only been going to hour 40 minutes. We're doing good. Miss Lisa Joe said they stayed in their tanks. Miss Barbara says spiders don't bother her, but if she sees a snake, she's running. I don't care what kind it is. I got you. I got you. Miss Lisa Joe says she used to breed chameleons. I love chameleons. Oh, now Chris is talking about those. Talking to Miss PJ says there's a thing that would make you squirm, but not me. The Madagascar hissing cockroaches. I've seen those on TV. Don't like those either. Farah says she can't even be in the same place as a spider. I left home at 3 a.m. one morning to get a motel room. The spider could keep my place. Miss Paula, going back to Nathan, says, is it possible he willingly left town? That is possible. Oh, and thank you. That reminds me, because the bartender had said that the night that Nathan came in, that he was happier than usual. I'm not trying to be negative or morbid or anything, but it did say that Nathan suffered from depression. And I've always read and heard that a lot of times before, I have to be careful how I word this, a lot of times before people self-harm themselves, they are in a very good, happy mood. They don't seem depressed at all. So that kind of put just a little thought in the back of my mind. I'm in no way saying that that is what happened. That's just a theory, something I thought about. But yes, Paula, it is possible that he just left town for whatever reason. And it's also possible that, as I said, that he apparently missed the curve or missed a turn off and ended up in the ditch and got out and walked. Now, I don't know what kind of terrain was around there, if there were any bodies of water, any wooded areas. He possibly could have got a ride with somebody with nefarious intentions. I mean, that's the bad thing in these cases, is there's just so many possibilities that it'll drive you crazy trying to think of all of them and figure it out. But yeah, very, very possible. Melissa Wildcard, she says, nope, I hate spiders so much. I'm with you, girlfriend. I'm with you. Miss Lisa Joe says that is a very urban area. So that means there would be other, buildings, and it's not what I would call the country. Yeah, so like I said, who knows? He could have just walked off willingly, and like somebody said before, he could have gotten I think I missed some. My comments jumped. Sorry. And he could have gotten a ride with somebody and something happened, that kind of situation. Miss Heather says she's only scared of black widows and brown recluses. Yeah, we get brown recluses here. I missed a lot of comments. I must have jumped and I didn't realize. Miss Barbara says she has fish. Miss Lisa Joe says she used to breed Dubai roaches for the chameleons for food, for supper. Stop my camera for a minute. My ears started itching for some reason. Oh, goodness. Melissa said that somebody, Kristen, has scorpions, tarantulas, jumping spiders, and black widow as pets. No, 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 no. Miss Lisa Joe said undid themselves. I mean, are you referring to like self-harm? Is that another way to say self-harm? I can't believe I missed all these comments. Also, it's Kristen from Kristen Behind the Crime Door that has all those things. Oh, no, no, no. I love her, but I wouldn't have a. Yeah, I've been watching Kristen, and her and Frank Meister have been on a lot together since the Delphi trial has been going on. So I've been watching them. Okay, so Miss Lisa Joe says 695 and 35 is a big intersection outside of St. Paul, Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. Okay. So if he were to take off walking somewhere, how long would he have to walk to get to like a business or somewhere to get help? That would be a question that I had also. Is if he did start walking, how far would he have to walk to get to a business or whatever to call for help? Which this was in 99, so you did have your basic cell phones. You didn't have smartphones, but you had your basic cell phones. But he was not found with the vehicle. Miss Barbara, are you talking about Nathan's eyes? Miss Barbara says his eyes. Are you saying that in a good way or a bad way? Miss Paula says he has nice eyes. Yes, he does have very nice eyes. Chris was asking Miss Lisa Joe, is there a possible trafficking type people or trafficking type situations near there? But he was, he was 20. Yeah, he was 21. Yes, the bugs and everything that Miss Kristen has can definitely stay behind the crime door. Like I said, I adore her, but not her choice of pets. Oh goodness. Miss Peggy says they have recluse spiders, wolf spiders, and black widows. Yeah. Miss Gail says yes, Kristen has spiders. Oh. Okay, Lisa Joe said it's a freeway, so yeah. Okay, so Miss Lisa Joe says he should not have gotten lost walking. So it's possible then that he either walked off and just left his life on his own, self-harm, or somebody did pick him up with nefarious intentions. And that's the three possibilities I can come up with. I'm sure there are things that I'm not thinking about, but at any rate, very sad situation. All right. Let's see who we have next. We have Linda Jean Anger. Let me get her. Oh, let me mark where I left off in comments, so I'll make it a little bit easier to find. Okay, so let me find Linda, it feels like I got water or something back in my head is stopped up, and then I think my ear has got water or some kind of. Can your ear be congested? That's what I'm trying to say. Fluid back up in the ear. I'm sorry I keep messing with it, but it's driving me nuts. Okay, there's the information I was looking for. So this is Linda Jean Anger. She went missing on May 7th, 1993 from Rochester, Minnesota. She's a white female. She was 40 years old when she disappeared. She'll be 71 years old today. She was 5'8", 130 pounds. She was last seen wearing a maroon or gray ski jacket, maroon or purple Levi's jeans, and white sneakers, and she was carrying a pink cigarette case. So I'm assuming it's those leather or imitation leather or whatever that's got the snap on it that you used to carry around back in the day, back in the 90s, 80s, 90s. For those of us that smoked back then, put your cigarette pack down in it and it clip closed, kind of like a pocketbook, but it's for your cigarettes. She has brown hair and green eyes, and she did wear glasses. So Linda was last seen at approximately 7:30 a.m. on May 7th, 1993. Her children reported that she was inside the family's residence in rural Rochester, Minnesota at the time. So this is a very strange living situation. So her ex-husband, Dennis, said that he dropped her off for a scheduled appointment with social services at the Olmsted County Courthouse at around 8 a.m., but it is unclear whether she did in fact have an appointment. No one saw her either inside the building or in the parking lot, and she was never seen or heard from again after that. At the time she disappeared, Linda was living with Dennis, their 2 young sons, and his new wife. She had recently moved there. Linda had recently moved there from Arizona. So apparently her and Dennis were divorced. He had a new wife. She was dedicated to her children. So apparently he had custody of the children. She was dedicated to her children, and she hoped to find a residence of her own there in Minnesota. She had never mentioned wanting to leave the area or wanting to harm herself. Dennis, the husband or ex-husband, is considered a person of interest in Linda's case. Within 3 days of her disappearance, he and his new wife had cleaned out her bedroom at the home. At least one of Linda's sons believes that his father did have something to do with his mother's disappearance. But Dennis passed away in 2007 without ever being charged or questioned. I don't know if he was ever questioned, but he passed away without ever being charged regarding anything that had to do with Linda's disappearance. Investigators believe Linda may have been the victim of a homicide, and her disappearance remains unsolved. So if you have any information on Linda's case, you can call the Olmsted County Sheriff's Department at 507. I'm sorry, my ear is driving me. 507-285-8308 or 507-285-8311. And let me see, I think I do have an interview, an article with the son, one of the sons talking. Hopefully it's not behind a paywall. Let me get that going. I'll turn off my camera while I'm reading. See if it'll come up. Oh, it's from one of the local news sites, so hopefully it does not have a paywall. So this is from June of 2023, so about a little bit over a year old. It says, one moment Linda Jean Anger was there, the next moment she was gone. What happened between those 2 moments on May 7th, 1993? No one seems to know, and what is known, the report from her ex-husband, the lack of contact with her family, her leaving her kids, makes little sense. On that Friday morning, Linda, then 40 years old, disappeared with not a clue left behind. Then Olmsted County Sheriff Captain David Mueller told the Rochester Post Bulletin a year after she went missing. He said, "We are not much further on this than we were 1 year ago in regards to knowing her whereabouts. Not much else has been learned in the intervening years." Olmsted County Sheriff Lieutenant Melinda Hanson said, "We have not had any leads in this case." And this was like roughly 30 years after she disappeared. On the morning of May 7th, 1993, Linda and her 2 children were living with her ex-husband, Dennis, and Dennis's new wife, Gina, in a home at a Paws and Claws facility. I don't know what that is. At a Paws and Claws facility located in Salem Township, which is south of Byron. According to police reports at the time, Dennis said he and Linda left the house at about 7:30 a.m. Oh my goodness. The paywall popped up. That just irritates me to no end. Let me see if sometimes if I go out and go back in, it'll let me, so they left the, it says Linda did not have an appointment with social services and nobody was expecting her. In fact, reports from the time insist that no one saw Linda in the parking lot. No one in the building met with her that morning. Her ex-husband added that he then went home where Russ, one of the children, was alone, asleep after working late the previous night. Between the boys seeing Linda and her ex-husband drive off in the car and his report that he left her at the courthouse parking lot, no one has seen Linda since. Linda had moved to Rochester from Bullhead City, Arizona 3 months previously. She and her ex-husband had an informal custody arrangement where she kept the boys during the school year and then he got the children in the summer. But wanting her boys to be closer to their father, she moved to Rochester. So she did have, well, they shared custody. She moved to Rochester and that's why she was living with her ex-husband and his new wife. After arriving in Rochester, Linda found work at Schmidt Printing in Rochester. One of her coworkers, Kevin Chin, first noted her absence that morning. Hanson said, according to reports at the time, on that Friday, her coworker called and requested a welfare check on Linda because she had not shown up for work. Deputies did go out to the house, and her ex-husband stated that he dropped Linda off at the social services that morning. He also reported she told him she planned to take a few days off from work. By Sunday, Linda had still not shown up for work, and Chin came to the government center to report Linda missing. And when deputies went to the Anger residence on Monday, her ex-husband reported her missing as well. At the time, Chin, who was her co-worker, called her disappearance strange. He says it just didn't sound right. Chin did corroborate part of her ex-husband's story, telling law enforcement that he thought that Linda may have been going to the courthouse to obtain medical assistance for her children and financial assistance so she and her children could get a hotel room. Russ said at the time that they were mystified by Linda's disappearance. She described Linda as friendly but quiet and a good mother to her 2 young sons. And she said, "We do not know what is going on." According to Russ, Anger and Linda had been married for about 4 years. They had divorced 11 years previously. Linda, who was originally from California, had lived in Arizona until February of 1993 when she moved to Rochester. It says it was a move her family in Arizona thought was ill-advised. Her sister, Sandra Carr of Bullhead City, said the family told Linda to let the boys go live with their father and take a break from being a single mother, but Linda gave up her job at a casino to move north. Carr said, but she would not do that. She wouldn't leave those kids. That was the most important thing. Carr added that leaving without calling was also out of character for her sister. She says it's just not like her. She would have called. She went on to say, we are so worried. You just never think that something like this would happen to someone in your family. Carr said nearly 3 months into Linda's disappearance that the family had begun to fear for Linda's life. She says, I wish I had money to fly up there and investigate myself. She said, expressing frustration with the progress being made in Minnesota on the case. Carr wasn't the only one feeling frustrated. Chuck Sorensen, a chief deputy with the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office at the time, said that leads were few and far between. Tips that Linda may have been seen in Albert Lee or on a Rochester City Lines bus heading north to the Twin Cities came to nothing. No clues led to the suspicion of foul play other than Linda's unexplained disappearance. At the 1 year mark, Mueller said it has been from the beginning a very suspicious disappearance. At this point, we don't have any new information to show that she is alive, nor do we have anything more than we had a year ago to point that she is deceased, other than not having contact with family members. To me, if she was that dedicated to her boys, to her children, I just don't see that, in my opinion, that she would willingly just leave, desert her children. Still, Mueller said there was little reason to believe that she was hiding out. I agree. In 2007, Dennis Anger passed away, and nothing else he might have known went with him. In 2008, Olmsted County Sheriff Detective David Rickus told the Post Bulletin that each year he walks the same plot of land south of Byron looking for clues, hoping for some nugget of inspiration that will lead him to answers or to Linda. He says, I walked the area looking for any kind of sign. Rickus, who recently retired, said in 2008 that he suspected Linda was the victim of a homicide, but without a body and without any evidence at all, prosecuting someone for a suspected crime is impossible. On May 5th of 2023, the Olmsted County Sheriff's Office posted a reminder of Linda's disappearance, again asking for anyone with knowledge of her disappearance to step forward and help solve the case. After 30 years, Hansen said deputies and detectives still hope to close the case. Hansen said the benefit of finding out any additional information about Linda's disappearance or possible death is always beneficial to the family, the community, and all who investigated her disappearance. So I made it through the rest of the article without interruption. So yeah, definitely, in my opinion, lots and lots of red flags. Yeah, I just let me get the next article up. Yeah, in my opinion, as dedicated as it said that she was to those, I believe, 2 boys, to her children. I mean, she was willing to move down, give up her job in Arizona, move down there, live in the same house with her ex-husband and his new wife, just to be close to her children, and so her children could be close to their father. Tells me that, in my opinion, she would just not willingly walk away from her children. But that's just my opinion. So let me get down to where I was at in the comments. Okay, there it is. There's the one I had marked. Give me 1 second, guys. I got to blow my nose. Okay, Sorry, I had to blow my nose. All right, now I lost my place again. Okay. Let me see. Looking for questions or comments. Y'all still talking about spiders. Lisa Joe, or I don't know if you're talking about this case or Nathan's case. Oh, you must be talking about Nathan's case. Said it was April, so the water was likely still frozen. Okay, yeah. So we were talking. I was asking about bodies of water around there. Yep, I didn't think about that. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, Chris says Linda's case is red flag crazy. Absolutely, I agree. Like I said, between my opinion, she would not leave the children behind. And then her ex-husband said that supposedly she had this appointment at the not the courthouse, but somewhere to get some kind of financial assistance. But they said there was no appointment. She had no appointment. Nobody saw her there that day. So that would mean technically that her husband and possibly, or her husband, the kids, and then his new wife were the last ones to see her alive, you know. So I agree, definitely bunches of red flags. Y'all need to stop talking about spiders. I'm kidding. Okay. Lisa Joe, I was talking about my ear, says plug your nose and blow. I tried to do that. That does not work for me. I've tried doing that. Yeah, it's just like got that, like when you get water, because a lot of times in the shower when I'm washing my face or washing my hair, I get water in my ear, and you know, I get that feeling and that noise you get. But it's not that. I think it's just my sinuses are backed up into my fluid in my ear. But anyway, enough of my problems. Uh, yes, Miss Gail says you just got to wonder about people. That is true. Yes, Miss Barbara, also true. People have lost their minds. Absolutely. Yes, I have questions about the new wife too. Not saying, and once again, I'm not saying that the husband did anything, but you know, just saying. But and if we'll just go on the theory or the assumption, not the assumption, but the possibility that he did have something to do with it. Possible that the new wife could have just maybe not had any hand in it, but knew about it. But we don't know. Unfortunately, we don't know for sure. But like I said, lots of questions and red flags and suspicions. I know, though. Yeah, Miss Barbara said that's a bunch of crap with the paywall. How do you get their stories out? Yeah, and it's some of the best stories or the best articles that I find that have the interviews with the family members or interview with law enforcement or updates of anything. Those are the ones that are always behind the paywalls. It just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. But anyway, at least I got through that last one with only one interruption on that one. For some reason, I read part of it and the paywall popped up, and then I went out of it and came back to it, and it comes back up and let me read. So I don't know. I don't know. Miss Lisa Joe said in the parking lot. Sure. Yeah. Uh, Melissa was asking Miss PJ, how much time did Harmony's, yeah, so-called dad get? I can't remember how much was it. I don't remember. I know that he was convicted and sentenced, but I can't remember how much time he got. Okay, so Miss PJ said he got life and he got transferred to Virginia. And Miss PJ also says somewhere unknown in Virginia for an unknown reason they won't tell the public. Also, they won't tell the public what exact prison or whatever he's in Virginia. Mm. At least Joe said Australia is trying to kill everyone. Apparently, from what I've heard, Australia has all kinds of, especially I think was it spiders, the huge spiders, and all kinds of creepy, crawly, venomous animals. I would love to go to Australia, but I don't want to encounter that kind of, the wildlife. If I go to Australia, I want to see, like the kangaroos, not up close, because I know they're beautiful, but they're mean. And what is it, the koalas, the koala bears. Don't want to see the creepy crawlies. No, he is not free. No, he was convicted. Gail said that is heartbreaking. Yeah, far as in Australia. I absolutely agree with you, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara says, no, I don't believe Linda walked away from her children. I will be looking into the ex-husband. Absolutely. He would be number one on my list of suspects or persons of interest. But he is deceased. He passed away before he would, he probably would have never said anything anyway. It would have been very unlikely, in my opinion, that he would have had enough of a conscience to, because if he would go so far as to take the life of anybody, much less some other of his children, he doesn't have a conscience. He wouldn't have said anything. Now, it might have been different if he had lived and they did find enough evidence to arrest him and said, hey, we'll give you a plea deal if you tell us where she's at. That would, in my opinion, be the only reason for him to have, if he had anything to do with it. Once again, this is just hypothetical. That would have been the only reason, in my opinion, that he would have ever said anything about where she would have been, where she is. Miss Paula is agreeing with me about something. Yes, I would love to see a real live kangaroo too, Gail. Not up close, not up close. Kangaroos are very interesting creatures. Miss Lisa Joe says she wants a wombat. Far says wombats are nasty. I've heard of wombats, but I can't picture at this very moment what they look like. All right. Chris says a wombat is some kind of marsupial. Okay. Gail says she looks. That's what I think of too when I think of Australia. Not the first thing, but yeah, Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, those movies. Yes, the ear thing. Miss Peggy says she gets the ear thing too once in a while. Yeah, I think it's just because everything is stopped up and it's backing up. The fluid's backing up to my ear. I'll have to do something about it though, because it's really annoying. And it's starting to hurt just a little bit. All right. Just getting caught up. Clara says the kangaroos scare her the most, especially with dogs. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about the dingoes too. And then I always think about what is the movie or the book that a dingo ate my baby or took my baby or whatever it says. Uh, okay, so Gail, are you talking about the wombat? I don't know. It says they look like a cross between a rat and a gerbil. Yes, that's a good idea. Christopher said I could go to the Australian Zoo to see the animals. Uh, yes, they're called the babies are called Joeys, right? The baby kangaroos. Yep. All right. I think we just have a couple more. Let me mark where I left off. Miss Bar. Hey, if I put a drop of whiskey anywhere, it's not going to be in my ear. Miss Barbara said, put a drop of whiskey in my ear. We do have some, which that's rum technically, I guess. We do have some Crown around here somewhere. Miss Barbara said it does work. I might have to try that because it's getting worse. All right, let us move on. I think we just have two more, and I don't think I have a whole lot of articles on the rest of these. Who are we on? Lori Finer. Okay, just so I can remember what article I'm looking for. Um, Lori Ann. This is Lori Ann Finer or Feiner. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Once again, has been missing since May 9th of 1992 from St. Paul, Minnesota. She is a white female. She was 29 years old when she went missing. She will be 62 years old today. She was 5'5", 120 pounds. She was last seen wearing a white men's t-shirt and blue jeans. She did have an alcohol problem in that time period. She has brown hair and brown eyes, and her ears were pierced. Lori Ann lived in Oakdale, Minnesota, with her brother. She received a ride to a friend's home in St. Paul on May 8th of 1992, and she stopped at Chuck's Bar on Payne Avenue in St. Paul during the evening hours. Witnesses told authorities that she was dancing with three men at the establishment early in the morning into May 9th. She was last seen speaking to one of those three men outside of the building at around 1 a.m. She never returned to her residence after that. She has never been seen or heard from again. Her brother reported her as a missing person on May 12th. Her family members said that it is uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning. She and her former husband divorced earlier in 1992, and they shared custody of their two children. Authorities did identify the three men who did have contact with her in the bar that night, shortly before she went missing. They were described as being construction workers. All of them, of course, denied involvement in her case. It said two of them provided alibis for their whereabouts after departing the bar, but the third man was unable to account for his time afterwards. So there's one red flag there. Says that Lori Ann did not have any money or extra clothes with her when she disappeared. Authorities believe that foul play is involved in her disappearance. They are investigating it as a possible homicide, but no arrests have been made in connection with her case, and it remains unsolved. So if you have any information on Lori Ann's case, you can call the Oakdale Police Department at 651-738-1022. Right, let me see if I can't remember if I had an article. No, I did not have an additional article. Could not find any other articles except just with the same basic information on Lori Ann's case, unfortunately. Right, let me see where I left off at here. Right there. Okay. Miss Gail says use warm salt water. Miss Lisa Joe says she has not heard of any of these cases. See, that's why I try to find cases. That's the whole point. I try to find cases that that don't, on this channel I try to feature cases that don't that need awareness brought to them that people don't know about. And Melissa Wildcard, she says she puts Vicks on my feet. Vicks is the cure-all, I'm telling you. I remember when we were kids, if we were sick, we would get the Vicks rubbed on our chest, and then get a warm washcloth put on top of that, and you get that smell. And as a kid, I loved that smell, and now to this day, as I get older or got older, I cannot stand the smell of Vicks at all. But maybe it's just residual effects from having it put on us all the time as kids. Chris says, try witch hazel for my ear. Farr wants to know, I was asking Melissa, or says, Melissa, I know people who do that here. Does it work? Now, I've never put Vicks on my feet. Now, putting it on your chest and getting it up, it does help clear up the sinuses in the chest. I know that much. Miss Lisa Joe says, Oakdale and St. Paul are connected. Are you talking about me, Melissa? It's just, I think it's just, I'm congested, and I think it's just fluid is backing up in my ear. Either that, I'm getting an ear infection also, because I've had a scratchy throat, a cough, you name it, I've had it. That's all right though. I get at least one of these congestion head colds a year. Yes, absolutely. Chris says Lori's case is also red flag crazy. Yep. Yes, I have heard that too. Melissa Walcard says peroxide for earaches. Yep. That's funny. Miss Peggy says, Barbara Hall, do you think my son will believe me if I tell him I want whiskey to put in my ear? I drink vodka, usually no whiskey. When I was younger, I would drink vodka, but I can't. Well, no, I can drink it a little bit now in small. I can't do tequila anymore, so I can't have margaritas. Every once in a while, I have a margarita, but the tequila I can't do tequila anymore. So I have to stick with like the daiquiris and then the whiskey or the rum. My go-to is a Crown and Coke, or any kind of like strawberry daiquiri or anything like that. Any kind of sweet, fruity drink. Gail says they used to put sweet oil in their ears. I've also heard of that too. You're very welcome, Gail. Lisa Joe says do the sinus rinse. Yes, no. Melissa Walcott said yes. The nose, throat, and Vicks helps with the nose, throat, and the chest. Absolutely. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Miss PJ says she's been very stuffy because their weather has been off. Yeah, that's the way it is here. Is that what little change of weather we get here in Arkansas, going from, usually straight from hot as heck summer to, depending, sometimes a mild winter, sometimes it'll be a cold winter. But yeah, whenever the weather starts changing is when I get all this stuffiness. Oh, is Miss Gail going? Thank you, Miss Gail. Thank you for being here. As always. That's funny, Lisa Joe. Paula says that the red flags need to start their motors. Yes, red flags, start your engines. Yeah. No, I appreciate. Oh, where'd it go? Everything jumped. Miss Lisa Joe said, yeah. No, I'll take any medical advice I can. Miss Lisa Joe said all of our unsolicited medical advice. No, I appreciate all the advice. Now, Miss Barbara says, don't listen to me. I don't want to be sued. Uh, no, 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 not 20 degrees. Well, about Fahrenheit. No, in Arkansas, I don't know how to explain it. It's Arkansas. I mean, the best way to explain it, sometimes during on Halloween, when we used to have kids young enough to still take out trick or treating, some Halloweens we would still be in shorts, t-shirts, and flip flops, and then some Halloweens it would be so cold, meaning in the 40s or 30s, to us Arkansans down here is cold. We would be bundled up because it was so cold. I mean, it just depends. And on any given Christmas, we could either have very cold weather and snow or tornadoes. So that's the best way to explain Arkansas winters and weather. Yes, that's the way it is here in Arkansas. Miss PJ says, for some reason, it's been summer, now it's winter, tomorrow will probably be summer again. That's exactly. Yeah, Melissa Wildcard says, last week 70s, now 50s and 40s. And we're still, no, when is, I confuse myself. Never mind. Miss Barbara says it was beautiful in her part of in Missouri today. Excellent. Yes, I also, PJ says, I think Mother Nature hates us. Yeah. No, see, I can't do any minus anything. If it gets below 65, 60, I get chilly. I don't get cold, I get chilly. But yeah, I'm a spoiled Southern girl. I would rather be hot than cold. But then I complain about the heat during the summer, so I'm not satisfied with anything. uh Miss Lisa Joe says, why do I live here? Uh it says, oh yeah, no deadly snakes or spiders. Oh, you guys are funny. Lisa Joe says, no, I don't do anything on -20. I just run to my vehicle. Chris says, send snow to the Midwest and Southeast area of Arkansas. No, well, I like snow if I don't have to get out. If it's a little bit of snow, I can drive in it. But usually in Arkansas, at least my part of Arkansas, because I'm in central Arkansas, we get the ice, like Arctic said the other night. We get the ice, sleet, ice, and freezing rain. We don't get the nice, pretty snow. We get the crap with the crap stuff. All right, let me mark where I'm at. I think we have one more. No, we have two more. No, four more. Oh, goodness gracious. We got to. Okay. So I have Leroy Keith Boyd. These won't take long to get through because I don't think I have any other any other extra information aside from the Charley Project on these last ones. So Leroy Keith Boyd has been missing since May 1st, 2007 from Aitkin. I hope I'm pronouncing that one right. Aitkin, Aitkin, Minnesota. He's a white male. He was 60, or says he's 67 years old. 6 foot, 220 to 230 pounds. Brown hair and blue eyes. His nickname is Roy. So Roy was last seen at an insurance business in Aitkin, Minnesota it says just sometime during late May or early June of 2007. He has never been heard from again. He had recently started his own trucking and transportation business called Old Buzzard Trucking with an acquaintance. He did a lot of hauling, so it was not unusual for him to drop out of sight for extended periods of time. Actually, an out-of-state friend notified police of his disappearance on August 15th, but he wasn't officially listed as missing until October 29th. But that differs from, at the beginning, it says missing since May 1st. So it is unknown exactly when he was last seen. So after his disappearance, investigators did find his 2005 Dodge pickup truck and trailer at a car dealership, which was out of state. They learned that Mr. Boyd had not driven the vehicle since October of 2007. When did he go missing? Oh, 2007. Okay. He had not driven it since October of 2007. The truck had been used to haul motorcycles across the country for private individuals. He was in good health at the time of his disappearance. He is described as a private person. Prior to his disappearance, he did travel extensively in the Midwest and the East Coast. Foul play is suspected in his disappearance. As authorities do have a person of interest in this case, but it remains unsolved. So if you have any information regarding Mr. Boyd, call the Aitkin County Sheriff's Office at 888-900-2138 or 218-927-7435. And let me see if I might have had just a couple of short articles. I think it's just regarding them finding the missing truck and trailer, if I remember correctly. Let me get a drink. If they'll come up. One second, it's trying. Okay, so this first, oh, okay. I thought it was another paywall. Oh, don't tell me it was a paywall. Where did it go? Oh, come on. Oh, go back. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is from, oh dang it, it is a paywall. Dadgummit. Man, I hate these freaking paywalls. So I think that one was just where basically just explaining what it said in the Charley information about finding the pickup truck and the trailer at the car dealership. Let me see if this one will come up. Well, that given now it says the site can't be reached. Okay. I can't read that one either. Another freaking paywall. Man, I think basically it was just what is going on? Everything keeps popping up. Yeah, it won't let me read anything. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I think it was just the first one was just talking about the missing, finding the missing pickup truck and trailer, and the other one was that they had a suspect, but they never named who it was publicly. So, anywho, Chris says he's a summer and a winter guy. Yes, I agree with Miss Peggy. She says 65 to 75 is good. Absolutely. As long as there's no humidity, but here in Arkansas, we always have humidity. That's unusual for Kansas, going back to snow. Lisa Joe says, when I lived in Kansas, there was like 2 inches of snow. Even people in Arkansas, well, a lot of people know I can drive on 2 inches of snow. But she said, I lived in Kansas. There was like 2 inches of snow, and I decided to go to McDonald's. I noticed there was no one on the road. It was creepy. McDonald's was closed down for the snow. From 2 inches in Kansas? Does Kansas not get a lot of? I always was under the assumption that Kansas got a fair amount of snow. I could be wrong, but now there are some people, some people in Arkansas that, you mentioned that we call it as the S word. Snow is a 4-letter word here in Arkansas. You start mentioning the S word and people go out and buy up, for some reason, all the bread, milk, and toilet paper. So they're going to have their bread and milk sandwiches, apparently, and make sure they have toilet paper. It's just insane. It is insane. Never understood it. Miss Barbara says she likes 80s in the summer. 80s is good. I would take 80s over the 90 and 100 and 110, 115 with 100,000 heat index that we get here. Let's see. Lisa Joe says she's with me. There's no pleasing her with the temperature. Yeah. I'm always complaining one way or another. Guess I'm getting old and cranky. So you been to Benton, Arkansas? I know where Benton is. Absolutely. Not too very far from me. Oh, did the Lions win? I forgot to watch the I had the game on in the background. Oh, the Lions won. Chris said the Lions win. He's a happy camper. Let's see what the score was. I got the TV on, but it's on mute. I kept forgetting to look at the score. Oh, 26-23. I'll have to watch the replay of the game. I'm not a huge Detroit fan just because I'm a Bears fan. So if I'm a Bears fan, I cannot be a Lions fan, a Packers fan, or a Vikings fan. Speaking of Minnesota, but my Bears, of course, lost again today. My Chiefs won and the 49ers won, so I guess that was good. That was good. But my Bears did not win. They lost to New England. I think it was like 19 or 23-3 or something of that nature. Miss Peggy says Wisconsin was humid, but it is dry in Colorado. Or no humidity, low humidity in Colorado. They had snow chains for 2 inches of snow. Really, they don't even do that in Arkansas. That just kills me. Miss Paula says snow is a 4-letter word in New England too. Do they go out and buy all the bread, milk, and toilet paper up? Miss Barbara says they don't get snow like they used to in her part of Missouri. Miss Peggy, she says she has driven in real deep snow, never had snow chains. Oh, Chris says he's happy that the Patriots won. No, they beat my Bears. I think that's who the Bears are playing today. All right. We got, okay, 2 more. I think, like I said, I don't think I have any supplemental articles, so these last 2 will be fast. Oh, Paula says she's a Patriots fan. That's fine. I kid. I don't down anybody for their choice of their favorite teams. I understand. All right, so let me mark that one. And no, do we do Cindy? No, we're on Cindy. Okay, Cindy is the next one. So Cindy Get her information going. Miss Lisa Joe says she judges people who aren't Vikings fans. Well, I guess I have a brother. One of my brothers lives in Minnesota now. He's lived up there for years and years now, but he's, grew up down here in Arkansas. He's a Dallas Cowboys fan, but he does watch the Vikings since and my sister-in-law, his wife, is a Vikings fan. So there you go. All right. Cindy Mae Brown disappeared on March 10th, 1980 from Roseville, Minnesota. She's a white female. She was just 22 years old when she went missing. She would be 66 today. She was 5'2" and 110 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. She had a scar on her left pinky finger extending from her palm to her fingertip. And it says she may use the last name of Jones. So Cindy was last seen in Roseville. She told her supervisor at Kmart that she was leaving town. She has never been heard from again. Her roommate, Patrick Thomas Walsh, told police that she had left to go to California in a brown van with a woman and two men, leaving her own car behind. At the time, authorities did believe that she had left of her own accord, and she was not reported missing until July 29th, which is 4.5 months after she was last seen. It says she lived on Rice Street in Roseville at the time that she disappeared. So this Patrick Thomas Walsh, which was her roommate, did have an extensive criminal history as a teenager. He has previously spent time in St. Peter Hospital after being found not guilty by reason of insanity in the attempted homicide of a 23-year-old woman. He was released in 1977, 3 years before Cindy disappeared. Doctors at the hospital stated that he had an antisocial personality, but that he wasn't mentally ill. I'm not a professional, but anybody who would attempt to take somebody else's life has some kind of mental thing going on there, something more than an antisocial personality. And in 1984, another acquaintance of Walsh, Cindy Gertis, was found stabbed to death. In 1991, he was charged with the homicide of a female co-worker, Pamela Susan Sweeney. He was found guilty of homicide, burglary, and SA in that case. So he is considered a possible suspect in Cindy Gertis's homicide and Cindy Brown's disappearance, which has now been reclassified as a possible homicide, but neither of their cases have ever been solved, and Cindy has never been located. So if you have any information on Cindy's case, call the Roseville Police Department at 651-767-0640. Like I said, I don't think I have any was not able to find any additional articles except for just the same basic information on these last two cases. All right. Thank you, Miss Tabitha. How did I miss that? Miss Tabitha, and a $2.99 super sticker. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Let's see. I think I might have something else. Oh no. And then Miss Heather earlier had a $1.99 super sticker. All right. So guess what? Here comes the moo-moo. Let me find the moo-moo. There she is. Thank you very much, Miss Tabitha. It is very much appreciated. Get back down to the comments. Oh, sorry, that was loud. Oh, now I lost my everything jumped. Okay, so I'll remember that question. Or yeah, that's our fall weather. Christopher said, let's get the fall weather, the tornadoes and stuff. Yeah. Here in Arkansas, we could have tornadoes, and as kids, we spent more than one Christmas or Christmas Eve in the storm cellar because there were tornadoes on Christmas. All right. Trying to. I think I went back too far. Okay, I remember that. Thank you, Miss Lisa Joes, putting some hearts up. Okay, Miss Lisa says, okay, maybe it was 4 inches, but it wasn't much. Yeah, 4 inches. I've driven in 4 inches of snow. You just have to be careful. Now, I do not drive on ice. I've attempted to, never again. Last time I attempted to, I was actually driving on what I thought was just snow, but is when I was doing home health caregiving, and it was just snow where I live, but I had to drive about 45 minutes away, and they had gotten ice, so there was ice underneath the snow, and I hit a patch of ice and ended up in the opposite side of the road in the ditch. Luckily, I did not hit anybody, and didn't damage my vehicle. I missed a road sign by about a half an inch, but that was the last time. I was like, nope. I turned around and went right back home because the client I was supposed to have that day, her family was at home with her because they couldn't get to work either because of the ice, so she was okay. So I said, I'm going back home. That is the last ice I have driven on. Yeah, four-wheel drives are good for snow. Chris says he's happy that the Jets lost to the Patriots. Chris says, you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan and a 49ers fan. That's crazy. Yeah, well, yeah. The Bears are my number one. Chiefs are my number two. I got to watching the 49ers back in like the Joe Montana days, and back in the day. And now the 49ers are my mom's favorite team. But yeah, the Bears and the Chiefs are my favorite NFL teams. And I love the Colts when Peyton Manning was playing for the Colts. And then when the one after him, I can't remember his name. I can see his face. I can't remember his name. I liked him too, that quarterback. But Miss Lisa Joe says that's another Twin City suburb, Minneapolis, St. Paul suburb. Are you talking about Cindy's K, Roseville? Yes, it is. Yes, I know Roseville. Chris says he'll never be a Chiefs fan. I think I missed a comment. Miss Barb says she was a Chiefs fan, I believe. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Miss Barb is also a Chiefs fan. Christopher says he's an LA Rams fan and an LA Chargers fan. Yeah, Miss Barbara says she didn't like the Rams anymore. They left. Yeah, they left St. Louis. Chris says he's a Broncos fan. Yeah, Melissa Wildcard says she was a Brady fan, a Pats fan, then a Tampa fan, now no football fan. So you're basically a Tom Brady fan. So do you enjoy his color commentary that he does now? If you watch football anymore, he does the color commentary for, I can't remember which new affiliate, if it's NBC, ABC, CBS, whatever. Paula says she loves Tom Brady and Gronk. Oh, Melissa Wildcard says Tom Brady is dreamy and a great quarterback. I agree. He was a good quarterback, but I just got, once again, back when I liked the Colts, it was always the Colts and the Patriots rivalry. So I just, and I've never liked Bill Belichick. Still don't like Bill Belichick, and he's not even a coach anymore. Miss Marvo loved the moo moo again. Paula wants to know, did Cindy know the people she was with? It did not say. All it said was that, according to her roommate Patrick, now this is just what he said. He said he told police that she left for California in a brown van with a woman and two men, leaving her car behind. Now that is the story he gave. Is it true or not? We don't know. After that, she was never seen again. So, we don't know if with his, I would at least have to be very suspicious of him with his, given his history of attempted homicide and successful homicide and burglary and SA of these other ladies. So I would be highly suspicious of anything that he had to say regarding Cindy. Oh, no, comments just jumped a whole lot here. Oh, we're almost 3 hours. All right. I'm going to stop right here and get to the last one, and then we'll get finished up on comments. So I'm going to make sure and get all the missing in. Oh, forgot to advance the slide. Last one we have is Lauren Gale Anderson. Let me get her information. So Lauren went missing on November 15th, 1981 from St. Louis Park, Minnesota. She was a white female. She was 20 years old when she went missing. She'll be 63 years old now. She was 5'4", 115 pounds. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and a short blue silk ski jacket with blue and white trim on the collar and the cuffs. It says that she did have tonsillitis at the time of her disappearance. She was taking medication to treat it, and she did leave her medicine behind. She has blonde hair and brown eyes. She wore glasses, and her nickname is Lori. So Lori was last seen at her parents' residence in the 4200 block of Vernon Avenue in St. Louis Park. An unknown individual picked her up at 6:15 p.m. She left without saying anything to her parents, and after that, she has never been heard from again. She was a regular patron of the Cardinal Bar in Minneapolis at the time of her disappearance. She left behind personal belongings, including her medication, her vehicle, clothing, toothbrush, everything. She did take her car keys and a checkbook, but she has not used her checking account since her disappearance. Her parents were not initially concerned when she didn't come home that night because she would sometimes spend the night at a friend's house. They reported her missing on November 16th after she missed work at her job at Fabritech Inc. So she maintained she was a vegetarian in 1981. Her interests included motorcycles, yoga, pool, and rock music. Typical 80s, early 80s. She had been living on her own for 2 years, but moved back in with her parents a few weeks before she disappeared. She was planning to move to the Austin, Texas area in April of 1982 to live with her sister. It says that she did not like any kind of office work and that she was thinking of becoming an auto mechanic or a truck driver. Her family stated that she did not give any indication that there were any problems in her life prior to her disappearance. She was not dating anyone seriously, that they said. In 2002, police did search the vacant home of one of her former boyfriends, looking for evidence in connection to her disappearance. It says no significant evidence was recovered. Her disappearance remains unsolved, and it is being investigated as a possible homicide. So if you have any information regarding Lori's disappearance, call the St. Louis Park Police Department at 952-924-2618. And once again, that is, couldn't find any additional information or updates or interviews with law enforcement or family members for Lori. So let me get back to your comments. Stop my cam for a minute. All right. Somebody's talking about Army. Oh, the Army football team. Oh, Chris says the Army football is one of the few undefeated college football teams left. Yeah, and Georgia got beat. Speaking of Mr. Steve, he was in earlier. I bet Mrs. Steve was not happy that Georgia got beat. That surprised the heck out of me. All right, now my comments jumped again. Let me make sure. Why is it not working? Hold on. Why is my slides not moving? Oh, I didn't. Never mind. Okay. Yeah, Melissa Wildcard says, I can't wait till Delphi case is over. Yeah, I guess I don't think they deliberated today. They should be back Monday. Yes, thank you. Andrew Luck. Yes, that's who I was trying to think of. Thank you, Christopher. Andrew Luck. Yep, I liked him too. Yep, absolutely, I agree with Miss Barbara. She says, me too, Melissa. I just pray they get it right. Yeah. Chris concurs. Yeah, there is unfortunately a lot of back and forth, two sides in the case, which that's fine, but everybody is entitled to their opinion, but you just have to respect each other's opinions, but it's just unfortunately not that way a lot of times. Yeah, I agree. Miss Peggy says Delphi trial is crazy. I would not be surprised if it's a hung jury. I would not be surprised either. Yeah, you're talking about Brady. Oh yeah, he's doing Fox Sports. Yes, and he is also now part owner of the Raiders, Las Vegas Raiders, I believe. That's a valid, fair point. Melissa says, I just can't say it's Richard Allen. Not convinced. Need more evidence. They should take the jury. Should have taken the jury to the bridge to the crime scene. Yeah, that is fair. That's a fair point. It would have been really hard. I mean, I don't know obviously the ages and capabilities of the jury members to be able to get to the crime scene, because apparently it is very hard to get to, a rough terrain. So yeah, I don't know how feasible it would have been. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think, yeah, if they had wanted to go down there, most definitely they should have been able to go down there. But apparently, I think they were, if I remember correctly, and please somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I think they did make a decision. Both the prosecution and defense agreed that it was okay that not to take them down there or something of that nature, if I remember correctly. Thank you. Yeah, Chris says Brady is part Raiders owner and sports analyst for Fox. Yes, Lauren's case says red flag crazy just because of the time that she went missing. Which case are you talking about? Chris says, I've seen the recent case from a suburb of the Twin Cities. Are you talking about Lauren's case? Okay, thank you. Yeah, Miss Peggy says that was brought up, but because the terrain and the changes that have been made at the bridge was decided not to take the jury there. I wonder if the jury or any of the jury members asked to go. Yeah, because they had made, because the bridge was a lot different. I would not have been able to, I would not have gone out on that bridge because, for one, I'm afraid of heights. And for two, it was all rickety and some of the boards were missing, no guardrail, nothing. Yeah, I would not have been able to go out there. Yeah, and Miss Barbara's right too. It does not look the same. Absolutely, yes. Miss Peggy says the bridge is very different. Yes, absolutely. Melissa says a very scary bridge, looks too high. Yeah, I think it was 60 feet down to the water, I believe, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're still on verdict watch in the Delphi. And I think on Mr. Steve's live stream that he did one later last night. It was 10 o'clock Central Time here. That he's not worried, because of the sheer amount of information that the jurors were given. Just the overall complicated case that it is, that because a lot of people are worried that a verdict hasn't been reached yet, but he had the point, and obviously he would know because he's former law enforcement and everything, that without all that information they had to process and go through, and the case being so complicated, and it could take a while. Now, I think he said, and I don't want to put words in Mr. Steve's mouth, but if I remember correctly, he said that he might start getting a little bit worried about a hung jury by not this coming Wednesday, but like next Wednesday, a week from this Wednesday, if they still haven't reached a verdict, that it might be, leaning towards a hung jury, but we will see. Yes, Chris also agrees. He says the old bridge is the one I would never go on. Yeah, and I know they have made improvements or redid some of the bridge, but you can only go out so far, which I guess you can climb over but they have it blocked off. You can walk out a little bit and you can look at it, but I might be able to do that maybe, but not the way it was back when it happened. No way. No way. Right. Does anybody have anything else? Any other questions, questions, comments, thoughts on anything? Any of the cases we talked about tonight? Anything? My Southern is coming out. Anything? And once again, everybody, subscribers, non-subscribers, members, non-members, whether you can donate money or not, or become a member or not, it does not matter. Everybody is very much appreciated. Subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, the most important. All those things are just as important, more important than, not that I absolutely appreciate my members and donations, but all those other things, free things that you can do, are just as important or more important. So I appreciate everything that everybody does. So therefore, everybody gets a moo cow. A moo cow, and a big, big thank you from me. Thank you so much. I love everything that you guys, all your support. Like I said, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing, the most important thing you can do. So don't forget to leave your DNA on the like button. You can feel free to leave, even if you were in chat, or if you're watching replay, thank you. We love our replay crew. Please do leave a comment below on any of these cases, or just an emoji or anything. It helps greatly. And I just appreciate everything that everybody does, everybody's support. I could not do it without you guys. This is our channel. It's not my channel. It is our channel, the community's channel. Also, I thank, obviously, all the other creators who are great friends, great supporters, who come in here and help out and support. Also very much appreciated. Appreciate the lurkers out there. Absolutely. Love the lurkers. Miss Peggy says, yes, the bridge looks scary. I used to go over a train track bridge sometimes. Excuse me, was scary, especially since the track was still used. So we walked as fast as we could, didn't want to meet the train there. Absolutely. Yeah, we didn't have any bridges because I live on flat farmland in my part where I live. And we used to have, when I was a kid, a train that came through here, but now it doesn't come through here anymore. It hasn't come through here in years. Now the old depot building is still sitting there, and there is one train car they kept. I think they've kind of made it into like a little museum. But yeah, we used to have trains that come through here a long time ago. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. Miss Barbara says, I believe I saw all these cases tonight. Share, share, share. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Absolutely. Who you talking about? Oh, does the dancing lady have purple hair? I never noticed that. That's even better. If the little dancing lady has purple hair. Wait a minute. I'm going to have to play it again just to see. Hold on. I should have taken the comment down. Yes, she does have purple hair. I did not notice that. Thank you, Miss Barbara, for pointing that out to me. That's even better. I love the purple hair. Christopher says he gives it till Friday on the Delphi case. You are very welcome, Miss Paula. Oh, there's Jocelyn. Hey, Joss. She says, looks like I missed it. I have a great night, everyone. We're just chatting right now. We're done with sharing all the missing that I had tonight. We're just still chatting. Hey, we're just a little bit over 3 hours. That's not bad for me. That's typical for me, apparently. I hope you're doing well tonight, Jocelyn. Good to see you. Always good to see Miss Jocelyn. I saw her last night or early this morning in Dave's chat for a little bit. Absolutely. So I'm trying to think. I had to get my water. I drank all my tea. I had to break the water out here. Try to do it without spilling it all over me. There we go. Depending on schedules, I will have at least 2 video uploads this week. I might be able to do Probably will be able to do a True Crime After Dark live stream again Friday. I can't remember if we did we do it? Did we do it Friday or Saturday of this week? I don't even remember this weekend. I've slept since then. But I should be able to do a True Crime After Dark Friday. So we may have, we'll talk about whatever. I always find there's always some kind of true crime missing that pops up in my Google feed, Google notifications that I find interesting. If not, I'll just scour once again the missing person Facebook pages and groups I'm in and just gather some of them up, make a slideshow of missing, and we'll just go through those, as many as we can. Always important to get as many missing information out as we can. Oh, did I miss Miss Barbara's comment? Yeah. Yeah, Miss Barbara said, good night, all. Great work at Southern Gal. Thank you, ma'am. And chat, stay safe and God bless. Absolutely, Miss Barbara. Do not forget, it's pinned to the top of the chat. Please check out Timmy's Legacy YouTube channel, the link to the Facebook, to the channel, the Facebook group, and also the petition is in the description box. Please check out all of them, along with all the other links that are there. The link to the True Crime Web Foundation, the petition to review the case of ELISA Robertson from Texas, Arctic's petition to standardize, reform the Amber Alert system, and everything else that's in there. All the links to the articles and information that I used tonight are linked in the description box. If you would like to donate, I have all my donation links in the description box. So do check it all out. Yes, it is always very nice to see Jocelyn. Absolutely. Okay, Christopher says, yes, I did do it on Friday. Yes, you watched. Yep. Yes, Miss Peggy says, yeah, Jocelyn, you missed snake and spider conversations. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they were talking about snakes and spiders. Yeah. The snakes don't bother me, but I don't do spiders and creepy crawly bugs. Yeah. Yeah, Miss Paula was on, Friday. Yeah, Christopher said we did it Friday. I couldn't remember. I think I've done a lot. I think I did a live stream Wednesday too, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we got 21 people in here. That's the most we've had in here all night. I guess we can keep going and talking. Got 21 people in here. We got all the, for anybody who doesn't want to, that's watching replay, who doesn't want to stick around for any other chat we might have, thank you. We got all the missing shared. Thank you for watching. Absolutely. Hit the like button, please. Share it, share it, share it. That's the most important thing. Absolutely. So if you guys got anything else, trying to think if I was in the middle of telling y'all something and I got distracted. Imagine that. Yeah, I know Miss Paula is always willing to stay. I was going to say something else and I just, of course, totally, totally forgot what I was going to say. So I got at least two video uploads that I'll upload this week, probably on Wednesday. Maybe tomorrow or Wednesday, and then Thursday or Friday. I have a spotlight case. I did a video on the Justin Gaines missing. I think that's his name, Justin Gaines. I did a spotlight case video on him. I probably uploaded Thursday or Saturday. And then I had a cold case missing, just short video. An Oklahoma cold case, not a whole lot of information with it. Oh, it was actually a homicide. But I just wanted to get that information out there. So I did, I think it's about a 2 or 3 or 4 minute video. Oh, and I uploaded a members video, a members only video this afternoon. So any members that haven't seen it, check it out. Is another I'd say homicide in a southern town, episode 2, something that happened very close to where I live. So that's for my members, so check it out. Miss Barbara says she's not going anywhere without us all. Good night, Chris. Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know how much longer I can stay because my voice is going and my bladder is going. So Miss Peggy says she's here till the end too. Trying to think if, let me check my browser and see if I had anything else in here. I think I went over everything. Oh, please check out the if you did not see the live stream I did early. I actually did 2 live streams Friday. I did a 4 o'clock Central live stream. I had Miss Sarah Carmichael, who is Marissa Carmichael's mother. Let me see if I have that slideshow still up here. Oh, I can grab it. Maybe if I didn't delete it. I hope I didn't delete it. 1 second. Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, so let me take why is it not letting me do anything? Oh, that's why. Okay, take that down and find the very last slide where it's got the missing poster. Oh, there it is. Okay. I had Miss Sarah Carmichael on, who's Marissa Carmichael's mother. Please watch it, like it, share it. We're trying to, a lot of us creators, Arctic, Doodle, Dago, Sunshine, everybody, we're trying to get as much awareness for Miss Sarah to Marissa's case as possible. Marissa went missing January 14th of this year from Greensboro, North Carolina. I can't read maybe you guys have a bigger screen, can read that information. Very strange circumstances. Do watch the video. I do have a Marissa Carmichael playlist now because this was the second live stream I've done on Marissa. The first one that I did, or the second one, the newest one, like I said, is her mother was on, and then a month or so ago, or maybe longer, I just did a live stream just sharing the basic information of Marissa's case. Please watch this latest one with the interview with Miss Sarah. Lots and lots of good information. And if you do know of Marissa's case, if you have any information regarding Marissa's disappearance, contact the Greensboro Police Department at 336-373-2222. And there is a $3,500 reward. If you would like to contribute to the reward fund, you can get a hold of Arctic Fox True Crime, and he can direct you on how to do that. All right. Okay. Christopher's got riddles now. He says, how many ounces are in 5 minutes? Then I'm bouncing. I have no idea. I have no idea. All right, guys. Oh, hold on. I always forget to turn my cam back on. All right, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and get out here. As I said, my voice is going. My ear is starting to hurt a little bit, so I'm going to do something with my ear. I don't know what. Take some of you guys' advice about what to do with my ear to get it, because it's starting to get that noise again and hurting. Thank you, Miss Paula. Absolutely. Thank you to everybody that was here. Absolutely. I appreciate each and every one of you. I love you guys. Thank you, Miss Jocelyn. Good to have you here for a few minutes. Always love having Miss Jocelyn here. I'm gonna leave Marissa up here. Like I said, oh, Miss Jocelyn says use Flonase. Thank you, Miss Barbara. Oh, Miss Barbara says good night again. All great chat. Thank you, Miss Barbara. We always love having Miss Barbara here. Always love having Miss Peggy here. She says good night, stay safe, and take care, everyone. Absolutely. Christopher says, am I going to do a live stream tomorrow? No, the next live stream I'll do will probably not be till Friday. We'll do a True Crime After Dark. But I will have at least 2 videos to upload this week. Now, if something happens and schedules change, I might be able to do a live stream at some point this week. But as far as I know, I got stuff going on. So probably not till Friday. True Crime After Dark Friday. Yes, Miss Barbara. Whiskey. Yes, Miss Barbara said to put whiskey in my ear. I might be putting not in my ear, maybe down my throat, but not in my ear. But I appreciate that. So yeah, so thanks guys. Thank you to everybody that was here in chat. Thank you watching replay. Thank you to the lurkers. Thank you everybody. I love you guys. Have a safe week. If anything, we're still on, like I said, still on verdict watch for Delphi. So if anything comes up, I'll post about it. Yes. Thank you, Miss Farr. Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. Yes. Miss Barbara is pushing the whiskey today. That's okay with me. Thank you, Christopher, for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Good to have you here. So until Friday, you'll have a good, safe week. Be careful out there. Take care of each other. That's the most important thing we can do. Just take care of our fellow human beings. And I will see you guys hopefully Friday. Bye.